y'all are live. Feel free to count down.
All right, hello everyone. So this will be a solo Therion speedrun between me and Jacoby. In addition to that, we have QT RPG Girl helping us commentate. Jacoby, do you want to do a countdown 3, 2, 1, and then we can get started?
Uh, yeah, of course. Let me just get over to the... I was setting something up on my end. All right, whenever you are ready.
Okay, I'm ready whenever. So go ahead. You can count
Cool.
down. Count us down.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
All right, good luck.
Yes. Good luck. QT, do you want to do an introduction to the category and such?
Sure. So what we've seen so far is we've seen some single stories. This is not going to be quite like that. In single stories, we can have a full party of travelers, or as many as we want. In solo, we are restricted to just our one person, who is going to be Therion for this one. So tomorrow you will be seeing Casty. So it is basically the 4 chapters in Octopath 1, but we only use Therion. He's our only traveler today. So today we're just doing some Uno half-track traveler. I think that's the Latin for one, or I might be mistaken. Sorry, I just have some tech issues on my end, so if you guys give me 1 second.
Sure.
Should we pause?
Yeah.
No.
Should we pause?
Oh no, you guys are good. If you guys want to explain why maybe you'd like solo, that'd be good while I just deal with this on my end. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so for me at least, when I got into Octopath and YouTube and Twitch and such, I really enjoyed the solo challenges and such because it really adds like a new way to play the game. All 8 characters have a different set of 8 bosses, 4 bosses. So then, and also they're more restricted because they can't do as much. So you have more niche strategies and things. It really leads to some interesting maneuvers and stuff that you have to do to compensate for your lower level and lack of party members and such. And you'll see that in the run as well. And Jacoby, do you want to share?
Yeah. I mean, I've always been a big fan of game. It's what they do, pushing characters. Did that a lot with other RPGs. So it's good to know that we can get it done here. And Therion is one of my favorite characters in Octopath 1, up there with Cyrus. So.
I mean, we gotta show some Cyrus some love after all the heavy lifting he was doing in that OP glitch run, don't we?
Of course.
Yeah, no, so you guys are talking about, you guys love Therion, we all love our rogues here too. But Anime, you were the one who was kind of pushing for this to be on, recognized as a speedrun category, weren't you?
Yes. Well, this started as a as an achievement on Steam. When it was released on PC, there was a Lone Traveler achievement challenge, and then because of that, there's some people who did it like for fun. But 2 people I want to shout out, especially are Doid. You saw them in the previous one, and also Glitch showcase in the run earlier. But Doid, they were I believe the first one to route a speedrun category for solo. They did Solo Hanet, which is in my opinion probably the hardest solo actually. So shoutouts to Doid, and then in addition after Doid, Zero, Z3R0, and then 1 Elite. He routed solo Primrose, and then that was also a very fast route and such. And then those 2 really started the solo speedruns. I just took ideas from the 2 of them. Also, I'm gonna do a safety save even though it's not really like necessary or anything. But they started the solo speedrun routes and such, and I just kind of took some of their ideas and branched off to the other 6 characters. Also, we can talk about chapter 1 because we haven't talked about it a ton. If Jacoby or QT wants to discuss it a little.
Oh my god, 4 encounter.
Better things to do.
So, Octopath is split up into 4 chapters, so what we're doing right now is chapter 1, and what Therion's doing here is he's heard rumors of this dragon egg. I believe it's a dragon egg. It's been a while since I've, not skipped the cutscene, and so he's come in to steal it, and of course he encounters everybody's favorite battle butler. He got no bad feelings after the last run, and so that's what we're doing right now, and so Therion's story is all about stealing dragon eggs, which is very fantasy-esque, but this one, he's going to do it alone. He's not learning the value of friendship, which is, I think, particularly touching for Therion's story overall. But,
Indeed.
Good.
So, basically, in this whole chapter 1 you've seen so far, when we're battling the boss and going through the dungeon, is to steal like the treasure inside of it. And then because of that, he ends up going on a quest to find the other treasures and such and reclaim them. And in addition to that, we do like the pretty standard chapter 1 strat. It's not different from normal character runs and such, because the chapter 1 you're always going to be solo anyway. So we started by buying a strong dagger and then stealing some soul stones that you saw be used against the boss. Basically, those soul stones do a fixed amount of damage. The small ones do 200, medium ones do 1100, and then the big ones do 2700. And the route is going to be using a lot of those to get through battles and such, because we're really weak, but these items are not. So.
And so we're seeing both of our runners have finished the first boss, and surprise, surprise, Therion is going to get a shackle placed on him. So we're not even stealing for our own good anymore. Oh, I guess Therion's not stealing for his own good anymore. He has to steal back his freedom. The cruelest twist of all here. So now we're going to do, the normal running around, getting a lot of resources. So one of the main strategies in Octopath 1 speedrunning is having what we call 2 merchants. So most runs will pick up Tressa, who is innately a merchant and has access to that hired help or paying to win. And then we usually go and collect the job shrine, which gives another character access to the merchant class. When you're only playing with one character, you only have one merchant. Now, this doesn't necessarily throw anything off. However, what it means is fights take a long, long time. And that also means that we have to bulk Therion up enough to survive a bunch of hits. Now, this is going to happen. We're going to see that Therion will be more over-leveled compared to the other runs we'll see today. And we're also going to make use of some of the other merchant skills to try to avoid taking damage. Is that about right? Is that what you guys think we're going to see today?
Yep. That one skill, namely sidestep, from the merchant class.
We love sidestep. Sidestep is incredible. We don't see it very often because in speedrunning, to dodge is very slow. It's better to bonk things. But when you only have one person to do the bonking, you do need to have a little bit of survivability, especially our very squishy rogue, or thief, I should say rogue. The nice thing about doing Therion solos as well, or having Therion in your party, is that he has the ability to lockpick, which is, you'll see these purple chests on the map, and he's the only character who's able to get the loot that's inside, and usually that's very good quality loot. And he can also steal from NPCs, as you saw in that Golden Axe run, very useful, which gives us access to extra resources to help us survive and level up, and also access to some soul stones as well. But I think, in my experience, it's usually the palms or the pomegranates which give you boost points, which lets you do stronger skills or more attacks that are the most useful.
Ooh, nice, free Kate.
I've got better things
Nice.
to do.
Oh, lovely.
Out of my way.
Yeah, I
Jacoby,
can skip Atlas Dam.
Yeah, Jacoby, do you want to talk about what a Kate is? And we saw it a little earlier, for sure.
Yep, so Kates, just like we saw earlier, they're a rare enemy that drops a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of and a bit more job points than a normal encounter would. In solo, we mainly use it for the EXP route and the JP, so that we don't have to do as much grinding to get our builds off, to get JP that we various job skills that we end up getting. We're both running with the Kate mod, which, as explained in the last run, guarantees a Kate in the Atlas Dam Flats. But if you get an earlier Kate like I did, no harm, just skip it.
So in this category, in the past, before the Kate mod, what you'd have to do is you'd have to start the game, play through the game, end chapter 1, and run toward the Scholar Shrine because we want the Scholar support skill, evasive maneuvers. And then if you get a Kate naturally, it's a 3% chance, then you can defeat it, and then you would get the experience and job points. But if you did not defeat it, unfortunately, you'd have to reset and restart, play through chapter 1 again. And this happened a lot because it's a 3% battle, so oftentimes you didn't get it, and then you just spend maybe hours resetting and hoping for a Kate. And this is necessary for runs at the topmost level, usually if you want to get a world record or something, or even just sometimes even just to get a PB, like a best time, you would want to get a Kate. So you see here the map I'm entering, for example, is called North Atlas Stamp Cats. That's because of the Kate mod.
And evasive maneuvers is so important. It works a little differently than Octo 2 and Octo 1. Basically, if you're going to be walking, the game will roll an encounter after X many steps. I'm just simplifying this. I don't actually know it's 100% to be accurate, so don't believe me here. But when you get evasive maneuvers, you can run that many walk steps. Otherwise, it basically, if you're running, it basically halves as many walk steps as you can do to get an encounter. I think that is correct. I think I'm not getting my stuff confused. Can somebody double check me on that?
That sounds about right, but I'm not. I don't formula.
Yeah.
I will keep see if I can see Doyd in the chat or somebody who is much more knowledgeable about the code. I just know get evasive maneuvers, you can start running. It's very nice. Oh, that's unfortunate, anime. We hate to see that.
Yeah. So
Scholar walk.
Yes. Fortunately, I got a second try, which is not horrible. But for those who are curious, basically to get to the Scholar job, you have to get past the encounter on the map. You have a small chance to skip it. I believe about 15% chance. But if you just walk the entire map, which I did, which most runners do try to do to increase the odds. But if you do get the encounter, then you have to just flee from it. The odds of fleeing are not like tremendously high, but you have enough experience and HP from the cat that it should usually be okay.
This game loves its cats. I mean, we have Kates everywhere. We have Kates. There's only one cat we sort of end up harming in Tressa 3. But this game, I think it really hates dogs. So if you're a cat lover in the chat, you're gonna love this game. Dog lovers, I'm so sorry. I have to like cover my dog's ears right now. She's looking at me. She's like, oh, what do you mean you don't like me?
Alright, sweet.
But now,
Alright.
go ahead, Jacoby.
Oh no, I just first try shrine.
Nice.
That's always a.
So with the Scholar support skill that we unlock upon getting the shrine, we can use this to traverse the map a lot farther and faster. And the first goal of pretty much every single story, and also just even the longer categories of speedruns for this game, is that with our reduced encounter rate, we can go around looting some high-level dungeons and things. So, for example, going to like level 40-ish areas when we're only level 3 or something, or level 14 or something. That's common and not supposed to be intended gameplay, I think. But we as runners like memorize where to go and such, and then that helps us navigate and loot the best items and things.
So you want to talk about where we're going then, Anime?
Sure. So yeah, the first stop after is our chapter 2 town, which is Noble Court. After that, we go to Force of Purgation, which is a level 58 dungeon. It's actually the highest level dungeon in the entire game. Well, there's like a hidden level. The final like the whole game category goes to the Gate of Finis, which has like a hidden danger level. But in terms of like what's visible on the map, level 58 is the highest. And then we loot 3 chests in there for like a lot of money and also just a strong weapon to sell, and also a large soul stone to do damage. After that, we go toward Therion's chapter 3 town, which is Wellspring. We eventually have to go to all his chapter 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 towns, so we might as well do it now. Yeah, and then we'll be looting more stuff along the way to power up and such.
Yes, even solos fall into the curse of the second chapter start, and then run around for the majority of the run, and then come back to it. So I don't think it's nearly as bad as some of these other runs we'll see down the line. I could be lying. I'm just looking at the notes. I'm actually lying. I scrolled down way more my notes. Never mind. But yeah, so yeah, it's the normal in structure, if not in party composition. So you guys were talking about, there's all these different runs for solo for all of these characters in both Octopath 1 and Octopath 2, and you were talking about your love for Therion. If you had to do another solo run in Octopath 1, I would be interested in hearing who would you choose? So somebody's interested in getting this this achievement on their Steam library, and it's not Therion, who would you choose?
Of the categories, I've done all 8. But of the solo speedruns, Ophelia is the fastest and probably the easiest by far. With a minor glitch, you can get a powerful amulet, which kind of just nullifies her final boss and makes the battle kind of free-ish. It's also the fastest. It's close to 55 minutes. And then after that, Primrose is about an hour. So those two are the best. I would suggest Ophelia for being the easiest. But really, like, all 8 travelers are fine to run with. Whatever you prefer, that is most fun for you. They all have good fun solos in my opinion. What would you two pick, given you two both have experience as well in solos?
Do you want to go first, Jacoby?
Sure. I started out as my first Octopath 1 solo, because I've done solos in both games. I started out with Cyrus as my first one. Bit of a long final boss fight, clocking in around 20, but it's great. It's really good. I mean, Cyrus is also my favorite Path 1, maybe the whole series. So he's my boy. I had to start with him.
Yes, Cyrus is actually my favorite character too of the Octopath characters. Sorry, I was distracted for a second. His final boss is really long and hard, but it's very satisfying too because her number of shields is the highest in the entire game, and because of that, it's very satisfying to defeat her and come up with a strategy against her. That final boss has a lot of unique things about it, and you'll see that later today. There's going to be some notorious gambling done to defeat that boss. So I think that'll be very interesting for anyone who's curious about it.
Oh yes, that is the finale of our single story relay, which is happening a little bit later today. It will be interesting. It's all going to come down to RNG, as most fun things are, I'm assuming. But we do, I think, have some safety backups in case
Yes.
the gambling just isn't hitting right today. But that is amazing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say, I do love Sirius's solo. It's that last boss fight. It is so much fun. You're at the end of this extremely long run, and you have to count every single proc you have, which is just amazing. Or you can do what I did and just YOLO it, which was not the best choice. I think the first time I was running an anime, you were actually in my chat and you were telling me not to YOLO, and I said, it's already 11 p.m., it's past my bedtime, I have to get this done.
Yes, a lot of the categories in this game, there's some that will have some kind of degenerate-ish strats, but that's what makes it interesting. A lot of the runners who play this game do enjoy some of the RNG at least. So yeah. Sorry. For this exploration phase that we're doing, I don't know where Jacoby is at, but I am currently looting Marshallum Catacombs. This is a well-known dungeon because it has some really nice gear, including one of Therion's best daggers in the entire game.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
I've been getting it.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go. Oh no, I was just gonna say I've been getting some bad luck on getting it countered, so I've had a couple extra on my way over, so I'm now just heading down to Marshall.
Okay.
So I'll be there. I'll be there in a minute.
It's the curse of Cyrus. He's not happy that we replaced him in OP Glitch Run. That was his time to shine.
Exactly.
But this, I think, is our first showcase of the buffer glitch in this run, I believe. And so you both are playing on PC, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, but for those who are maybe interested in starting to speedrun, this glitch is also accessible on the Switch, but I don't know, I believe I saw in the chat earlier today, or maybe Joy mentioned it, that I think it might have been patched out of the PlayStation ports. Is that everybody's understanding?
Yes. It's available on every console except for... So you can do it on Xbox, you can do it on Switch. Ooh, Mars counter. That sucks.
man.
Yeah,
What?
Xbox,
Oh, no.
Unlucky.
Switch, PC, everywhere except for PlayStation console.
So I'm sorry if you're a PlayStation fan, you can enjoy some of these other runs, but I do think not every single run uses the buffer glitch, but a majority of, at least the ones that I'm aware of, do tend to use that buffer glitch to be able to grab these super overpowered items so that we can really ramp up how fast we can do these runs. It's not required in every single run, I'm pretty sure, but if
Yeah.
anybody was ever interested or wants to know how it's done, I think there are plenty of guides, and also there's plenty of write-ups, and it's just a matter of practicing and getting the timing right. There you go. We love
it's a very-
that's so cleanly executed.
It's a very easy glitch. I'm not sure, at least on PC. Oh, second counter.
Come on. I've
Oh, no.
So I believe we did actually see
my
buffer
way.
glitch earlier from Doid, likely for the
Mhm.
glitch showcase. Buffer glitch kind of helps enable all of that because it helps them get out of bounds, and then they can do shenanigans with the title screens and such, which you also saw earlier. So you
We're
can
not
do
we're
some cool
not
things
eating
technically.
Therion into the void this time though. Sorry, we're not seeing that. We're not taking any letters from our masters. But we have classified it as not a glitch and not a cheat. It's in the majority of, or it's accepted in our normal speedrunning rankings. We do not classify it as a cheat in those cases. If anybody is wondering.
So for this part of the run, Jacoby's likely in the Marslem area or somewhere along, and I also was near there as well. After we got like the loot from around Marslem, which is a chapter 4 tier town, we come to Stoneguard because it's a good warp point. You can fast travel in this game, so that if you tag a town, you can always come back to it. But in addition to that, we have the Everhold tunnels here, which is probably the best dungeon in the entire game in terms of raw loot. There is a very powerful staff in here that we can obtain. It is one of like the top 5 in the game easily. And then there's a powerful axe that sells for a lot of money, and then also just a chest with a lot of money as well. Just a ton of really good loot in this place. The problem is that it's a really big dungeon, so it's very hard to loot everything. But there is a kind of oversight by the developers where if you talk to the boss and you say no to fighting the boss, it resets your encounter rate, and then that lets you run, get an item, reset the encounter rate again by saying no to the boss, and just repeat that over and over as you loot items. So you'll see that in this run. You'll see this also later in other categories as well. Most notoriously, the full game category uses this in order to loot the items in here because they're all useful throughout the entire game and very powerful. But some other categories loot this as well.
Yes, and that's a good thing to say. So you were talking about how this is just outside of a chapter 4 or the highest tier sort of difficulty area, and just like any normal RPG, any loot you find or any goodies you find outside of a chapter 1 or a beginning town are not going to be as good as outside of those huge payoffs of a chapter 4 higher difficulty range. And so that's why we have to be very careful, as poor Jacoby found out, of making sure we don't get any encounters in these higher areas, because the one thankful thing is, as a solo character, there's only one character to wipe, but you are going to have to wipe. Unless you're going to do that, try to get out that first encounter, you will be wiping, and you will have to review all of the progress you just made.
Mm-hmm.
Are we heading towards Merchant Shrine enemies? Is that where you're heading?
Yes, so Merchant is the primary DPS in this game. For those who watched the run earlier, we use the hired help just like all the other categories. There are nowadays some runners who are doing non-hired help routes, and those are really interesting because then you have to use weapons and skills and such. I do recommend checking out Pig if anyone's interested. They've been doing a lot of runs in that category, so very cool change up.
Yes, I know it's kind of similar to what people were talking about. Sorry, Zazu was talking about in the Oshet run, Zazu and Yazirian, about you know, we don't. Some people do not want to use inventors or inventor-less categories in Octopath 2. It's interesting to see that sort of coming across to Octopath 1 to talk about no hired help, merchantless. Are we? No, we're not quite at the massive power-up phase yet. We're still looting the town, which is quite appropriate for Therion. I mean, he's looting all over the place, but none of these treasures are what is going to get him his freedom back. We have still have to go back to chapter 2 at some point, but that's a little long ways away, actually. Okay. Oh, you guys are, you know, not too far apart, I don't think. I think it's all gonna... Everything will kind of come down to that chapter 4, as every Octopath speedrun we usually will do, but Jacoby's heading up now to go get his merchant shrine. And that will be a good sort of to see where you guys both are at.
Mm-hmm. Therion, because of the 3% at the very end, also is similar to Golden Axe, where even if a runner is ahead, they could easily, you know, fall behind just because the unfortunate RNG in Chapter 4, as many people who have lost their personal best runs can attest to. Okay.
I'm actually going to do something a little weird here. I'm going to unequip evasive maneuvers and leave the shrine, because I didn't get an encounter before.
The same thing happened to me.
So I'm just gonna go grab that encounter, just because I don't really want it to mess up a route. Plus, it's just extra JP that takes away from what we need for our grind later.
And yeah, so we talked a little bit about JP at this point. JP is job points, and so if we want to collect or unlock any new skills, as we saw we did for to get a basic maneuver, so new skills and new passives, we have to basically get these job points. And so, especially in solos, they really are very important. As you guys were hearing, there's going to be a little bit of a grind coming up. JP isn't super relevant to other single story categories, just because normally all you need is about 150 job points in a lot of these just to get hired help and donate BP on your 2 merchants. But yes, there's going to be a bit of a grind, so we will have to love, you have to love those solos for that reason. You have a little bit of downtime, it's a little bit meditative, it's a little bit infuriating when you keep slipping further and further off your PV pace, but you get to see, hopefully, some pretty giant and chubby cats if you're looking forward to that in the future.
Yeah, we'll be heading through to an area called Northreach. It's where Therion's Chapter 4 is. I believe the map is called South Northreach. There is a chance that the encounter there will have a chubby Kate. I'm not sure it's another 3%, like the smaller Kates are. But effectively, a chubby Kate is just a Kate, but better.
There's more of it to love.
More money, more XP, more JP. Just turned up way up, and it really helps save on our JP grind. Not really on the XP route, as I found out last night to practice.
Sorry about that.
But that's not your fault. But it does significantly cut out, if not remove, the entire grind that we'll be doing Tomb of...
So,
okay.
for those who don't know about the battle on this map, a lot of enemies in Octopath are static, where basically the first battle on a screen will be the same every single time. In the Northeast map, it's always these 2 lizards, which are called Reptalios, and they're notorious for having extremely high evasion. very high in the entire game. If you try to attack them normally, usually you'll just miss. But our hired help ability has very high base accuracy and will never miss. In addition to that, you can summon 2 bandits, paying just 800, which is pretty cheap for us, and then that will break both of them. And then they have about like 52, 86 or something HP or something. So a single large soulstone, which will do 5400 when they're broken, will defeat them. And then that makes it easy to get through the map, even when you're just a solo character, even though it's a chapter 4 map.
Yeah, that's a great point. And so we saw another one of those earlier when we were seeing the Golden Axe. So Honnet's encounter on that screen before Gizarma, I believe is the name of the boss, is always going to be that boss which you need to defeat Gizarma if you're doing the speedrun strat. So if you're ever confused, if you ever want to start speedrunning and you see like there's an encounter written down for certain, it's because it is that static, and it's very helpful for us to be able to plan around to get to these higher value items outside these chapter 4 bosses like Therion, or to get the run off the ground and have consistently or more consistent strats against a chapter 1 boss, so we can get a run even going. Okay, you guys are making great progress. This is amazing. Let me see. Are you guys doing the early 3% steal, or are you guys staying away from that? Because I don't know how 3% you guys will be. Like how 3% out you guys will be.
Yes. So the way this route that me and Jacoby are running works is we're gonna do the grind first, and then like all the steals just all at once.
Perfect. Okay.
I'll make this quick.
And we're not quite ready to head off for, oh, are we? We are heading there. We're gonna start the grind now?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about Tomb of Kings maybe, QT, or do you want me or Jacoby to talk about it?
I am happy to do whatever.
Sure.
Oh, I can. You want me to talk about it? I can do it. I have the notes in front of me.
So basically, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead. If you want to do it, you're probably better for it. You understand. You wrote the notes.
Okay. So Tomb of Kings is the dungeon in the game that has the highest encounter rate of Kates, tied with 2 other dungeons. Because of that, it's a very efficient place to grind experience and job points, and we do need some base amount of it because we're solo, so we'll need a little bit more bulk for the bosses and to unlock more skills and such. Okay, so you can see on my map why it's so good.
How would you just get Kate's?
Oh,
Yes.
wow, that is a really good encounter, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, because of the high Kate rate and each encounter that does have Kates, it'll have 2 Kates instead of just the 1.
Yes.
It's really, really good for grinding JP.
Yeah. And it saves a lot of time, especially if you use a large soulstone to defeat them. You get a bonus which is called Domination when you 1-turn KO an enemy. Gives 10% extra job points.
And there is an extra bonus as well if you don't take any damage, I believe. And another bonus if you break an enemy. Now those aren't as useful to you guys, but those also do exist. So sometimes you'll see a runner use maybe a little bit too much of a resource, and that is just to make sure we do get those bonuses in, because those are crucial to our routing. As you can see, I can use all 3 for 3 there, anime.
Yeah, so because the dungeon's very efficient for grinding, we use that to basically power up as necessary. And then also our armor is actually really good too, so we don't have an issue in terms of tanking attacks. They usually do between 0 to 50 for their basic attack, which is not much at all.
Yeah, and the nice thing about these grinds too is, okay, there you go, you guys are back. The nice thing about this this kind of category too is you get to throw all your soul stones. You don't need to keep any of them. That is very different than the majority of the runs we'll see, and the majority of any runs. Usually you need that extra consistent 5,000 damage in these chapter 4, chapter 3 runs to offset maybe some of the cost of the vet or cost of some other hired help.
No, you don't.
So that's a little bit fun. You get to throw. You don't get it. You can stop being a little quarter goblin and actually throw your resources in this run.
Yeah.
And that's that.
It
So,
really helps because that way you don't have to get backups for anything. Rarely,
Yes.
at least.
You don't have to worry about, oh no, I have 4 soul stones, but I needed 1 fire one, and all I have is 4 shadows somehow. Not talking from experience, obviously. But it's a lot of these fights too. They come in these consistent patterns, or 2 sets of enemies, or maybe 4 or 5 of the same kind. So there's none. I know that Anime does a really good job of breaking down in his notes what you need to defeat each one, which is fantastic. And I also think a lot of these do use bandits, and I could be mistaken, but you actually make more money killing them, or defeating them, sorry, than you do using the bandits. So it's actually a tiny bit of a money grind. Not that you need it in this run, is my understanding.
No, you don't.
Yes, the money that you get from the battles does make a difference. There's like surplus money added in because you're very likely to fail to steal a few times and you'll have to restore your reputation. But the extra money definitely does help, for sure.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yes, and as you could see in the Golden Axe route, I should explain this. So, the 8 characters are broken into 4 which are noble characters and 4 which are rogue characters, and I believe we have a rogue half-game run tomorrow. And basically what that means is if you are a rogue and you fail your path action, you lose 1 reputation. Each town has 5 reputation points. Once you have failed 5 times, you have to go to the inn and pay the innkeeper to reset your reputation so you can try your path actions again.
Yes, for some towns, this is not that much money, like it's like 1,000 to 2,000 or so in a lot of the Chapter 1 towns. But for the Chapter 4 towns, it might be a little more expensive. There's one town that's notorious and takes 100,000. We won't be going to that town, fortunately.
What town is that?
Grandport is 100,000.
Oh, really?
There.
Oh. Okay, I've thankfully never failed 5 times in Grandport to figure that out.
So you actually see the rep restore on my screen now. This place takes 2,500.
Okay. Yes, as you can see there. So, you're back in your Chapter 2 town. That is interesting. Are we actually planning on finishing this Chapter 2 in one go, or are we breaking this up into multiple smaller chunks of,
Yeah, it's definitely fast to break it up.
And that's just because the steals are on different parts or different screens of the same map. So we always have to go to that first screen over and over again to hammer stuff in, right?
Yeah. For me at least, I'm going to do a steal now, which is called the Inferno Amulet. QT, do you want to talk about the Inferno Amulet?
The Infernal Amulet.
Or do you want me to talk about it a little bit? Or
Is this
I could jump in
Oh,
if
yeah.
needed.
Sure.
So the Inferno Amulet greatly reduces all fire damage we equip party members. I believe it's a 99% reduction,
Yes.
which is insane. So because of that, the final bosses, Darius, and Chapter 3 boss, Gareth, their only magic attacks are fire damage. So we get that amulet before we go and do Chapter 3, so that we don't have to worry about our magical or elemental from that.
That is really great. Sean probably should have known that it has been a while since I've run these solos, and
fine, yeah.
as Anime was alluding to, I have run every single category in Octopath Run, so I am a jack of all trades, master of none. So there are some times I will be running and I'll be like, I know I have to do this. I don't know why, and I'll end up actually doing somebody else's route. So that is good to know.
I guess to talk real quick, all of the solo bosses, their chapter 4s often focus on a singular element. So for example, Alphen the Apothecary, his chapter 4 boss Ogre Eagle has wind-based attacks, and because of that, in his speedrun, he gets the Tempest Amulet to reduce the damage by 99%. Similarly, Simeon, who's Primrose's final boss, has dark attacks, so we get the Void Amulet, and so on, for the solo runs at least. So that makes a big difference in the routing of the game. We try to get those amulets if it will be effective against the boss. And this is Therion's amulet for his boss.
Okay. Well, that is nice for the developers to put those in for us. It's almost like they intended us to do some speedrunning. I'm joking, but you know, it's always nice that there are those tools available. Yes, there are so many 3% in this category. Therion likes living on the edge, and so he likes the 3%. And so, for those that are interested, how I believe this is correct, how a ceiling chance is calculated is based on level ranges for, I believe, NPC regions. So, for example, you might have a X% chance to steal, and then if you were to actually gain 1 level, you might go up to the next percentage. So it could be, I don't know, I know it's 55. So it might go from like 55 to 80. There's probably some in between. I can't remember specifics. But that's why there is a little bit of importance when it comes to Therion's levels. Now, this 3% is basically the lowest you can get. It means, you know, you're so far below these level ranges, but we're still going to give you a slight chance to actually steal what you need to steal. So if you're planning on doing this normally, if you're planning on getting those solo routes, it won't always be that 3%, and especially in Therion Chapter 4, if you're playing normally, it's not going to be a 3% chance for you. It's only 3% chances for those speedrunners who don't intend to level up all the way that you normally do in a run or in a playthrough. Okay, we're actually caught back up, it looks like, on my screen. Both of you trying to get the Inferno Amulet. Those 3% are, you know, the great equalizer in speedrunning, as
Yes.
we were saying. So are we gonna go fight Orlick now, or am I getting ahead of myself?
I will be going to Orlick soon, yes. Because I
Okay.
managed to get it, finally.
I just did as well.
Hey,
Oh my
nice.
That is fantastic. Both of you guys.
Suddenly I'm caught up.
Very nice.
You know, it was just, you know, you used all your bad luck up earlier, so now it's nothing but good luck going forward, and I didn't jinx you at all, and if you do lose, you can blame me, but that's what I'm gonna put out into the universe for you.
Yeah, we just need to get it out of the way.
So the plot of Therion Chapter 2 is that there is an individual who has asked you to go steal these small things for him. I believe, I can't remember the exact reason why, but that will let you get into Orlock's mansion. Orlock is the boss for this chapter, and Orlock is actually in possession of the second dragon egg. So, you know, Therion, he got a little sidetracked. He's a commoner. He can't probably read. That is actually a lie. I'm pretty sure he reads in the text, but just go with me. He can't read. Now he got reminded he has to go back and steal the dragon eggs. He got a little distracted by cats. He's a cat boy. We love him. But we need to get back on track to get Therion's freedom. Yes, it is quite surprising to see the thief or anybody in this game be a little bit tanky, especially normally we'd attribute that role more so to Ulbrich, who's our warrior, but Therion got this really good armor on, he's leveled up a bit, he is ready to go, and in addition, as Jackie was saying, he also has he will be getting, or he does have, I didn't see all the menus, the sidestep ability. So he will actually be able to also just shoot off to the side, which is very traditional rogue. I'm surprised, or thief. I'm surprised that wasn't a thief skill. It's a merchant skill. Okay, yeah, sorry for the Prim slander. Prim also gets tanky. I apologize. I love Prim. She's my favorite. But I don't play her a lot because I do not like Chapter 4 as much as I love Simeon. Oh, that is a good point, actually. Merchants are good at dodging things like taxes. That is fair. That is probably why they gave it to the merchant and not to the thief.
My turn. Fight! Don't start things you can't fix.
I know. Thank you. It's gonna be. He's only wiped me twice in practice, so we'll having an interesting run. For those who don't know, if you're looking at the chat, the live replay, Tyler and I will be doing, or Tyler Salsa and I will be doing the all female travelers or women run after this, and we're going to be doing this on Switch, and you will be seeing exactly who I'm talking about when it comes to Tinian. I love him so much, but he does not love me, which is very on brand for that relationship.
Yeah, Simeon's Simeon's a bit of a difficult type.
Let's get
I
this
admire
over.
the people that do solo Primrose.
Someone.
And
I
like him in general.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's just a single story, but yeah, it's still the single story Primrose is a really difficult run. The chapter 4 boss, there's like 2 ads that are really strong, two side enemies that are very strong that you have to deal with. But just to I guess talk about the chapter 2 boss, I can see that Jacoby is on it now. This is Orlick, and he uses magic attacks, but he also has side guys with him too. We use hired help veterans to defeat those side guys quickly, and then afterwards we just use Steel SP, which is a powerful thief skill that we learned. And then that will chip his shields down, but in addition to that, it will replenish our SP, which isn't that big a deal right now, but it'll be helpful later. And then we'll break and do hired help veterans again to finish him off. And there's ways to get like bonuses and like to be a little more efficient. Like, for example, there's a chance that our dagger, which I mentioned earlier, is really powerful. There's like a 5% chance to proc poison, or maybe 10%, 5 or 10%. And then if you get that, for example, you could maybe save a turn or something, which can be helpful or just nice to have. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, and the next thing about Poison too is Poison does a set amount of the enemy's HP, as opposed to leveling off any of the Traveler skills. So that is always very nice. I know when I was doing my first playthrough, I did a lot of turtling and poison. But you only see a lot of poison from our apothecary. So it is always good to have those little elemental or extra bonuses on weapons. I think there's also a dagger that does blindness, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But we don't go after that in this playthrough, I think. Maybe from that's it.
I believe there's no blind dagger actually. I checked for routing purposes, so yeah. Unfortunately.
I am just talking through my teeth. For some reason,
there's blind weapons. There's weapons that do blindness for a lot of the other weapons. Dagger's one that does not have it, so I can think of that.
Probably. I was trying to be insightful, and
It's all good. It's a reasonable assumption. So for chapter 3, there's like a side enemy battle that we have to defeat. These guys are really weak, and with a medium soulstone, we do like a good chunk of their damage, and then finish them off with hired help. Or if you have soulstones left over, you can also just defeat them outright. In addition to that, we'll be coming up, I'll be coming up soon on the chapter 3 boss. Similar to the other bosses, will be using a lot of hired help to get past them, and he also has very powerful side enemies that we have to deal with as well.
Yes, I'm sorry, Zazu. I'm just lying to the internet here. I'm trying my best. Okay, it's been a long day, and there's only more great Octopath to come, and probably some other misstatements that will happen. It's just the way that speedrunning works. things get confused. So Jacoby has now finished chapter 2, so he's heading to chapter 3, and the story of chapter 3 is we go to this desert town where there's this let's say black market dealings, and so Therion comes across the right-hand man of the thief that Therion used to run with. So we're actually seeing if Therion weren't betrayed, where he could be at. And I actually do like that there's this purple color scheme because Therion is purple. This boss fight has a purple color scheme. And so there's just that little storytelling with the sprites. And the sprites in this game are absolutely gorgeous. If you have never seen any of the sprite work, it's intricate, it's detailed, the music's phenomenal, the presentation's phenomenal. Those are just some of the things why I love Octopath. And
Yes.
how did you guys get into this game?
Well, I remember seeing the Nintendo Direct, I think years back, and then that got me interested. So I tried it, and then I enjoyed it, and then I watched a speedrun. I believe it was Jello Knife on RPG Limit Break I watched, and I enjoyed it. And eventually decided to try it out one day when I was in the Discord. I think some other people are similar, where they saw a speedrun and they were also inspired to start it and such. Kobe, did you want to share?
Yeah, so I've known about the Octopath series for a while. I remember watching just like anime. I remember watching the Direct. It first got announced. Everything. I played the demo. I played it on Switch. And then I'm a bit of a new addition to the Octopath speedrunning. I started back in January. Right after. Big shout out to Anime, by the way.
You ready for this? My turn.
He ran Casty Solo at AGDQ, raising money for Prevent Cancer, and I watched that and I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to speedrun for a while, and I saw him do that, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can do it too.
Take this.
And I started, and here we are.
Well, we're so grateful to have you. I mean, it's always so lovely to have new runners into the fold. And I just find that, Zazu is an exception. I love you, Zazu. I'm joking. But everybody in the Octopath speedrunning Discord is so helpful to beginners, so helpful to trying out new strats and pulling all their information together. And I hope that you've had... I'm sorry, Zazu. You were my first introduction into Octopath running. That I just hope that everybody has that wonderful experience. And there is a casual Octopath Discord as well if you're interested in Octopath and maybe don't want to take the plunge into speedrunning. And I would just love to see more people have a chance to play and appreciate this amazing game and all the amazing games in the series. I'm sorry, Zazu. I'm so sorry. Okay, I know you were so helpful to me and you're so nice to me. I'm just joking. Zazu was a lovely person.
So we see Jacoby at Gareth right now. So Gareth, his two ads are very powerful. Gareth himself is no joke either. So you'll want to use hired help mercenaries early on. That's the first hired help ability, and it gives a defense buff, which is very important for 2 turns, and then that will decrease the damage coming in by 33%. In addition to that, it chips 1 sword weakness off of Gareth, which is important too, because we're going to want to break him. In addition to that, we will use hired help veterans to defeat the 2 side guys. And then we're going to use an item to get boost points again, and then use that to use hired help veterans to finish off Gareth. And because we have the Inferno Amulet and we have very strong armor as well, we are very likely to survive this battle. It's not actually guaranteed, but we're extremely likely to get through. Usually it's recommended to safety save just in case though, just in case if you want. But looks like Jacoby just got through, so very nice.
Yes, and we're not quite heading to the final boss yet. There's still a little bit of resource gathering, if I believe that's correct. And then we'll have that infamous 3% that we've already seen a couple times. but the true 3% of this category, the actual story steal 3%, not one of these side options. This is where PBs go to die, but we're not quite there yet. We have a little bit more resource gathering to go. But both of you are currently in North Reach,
You ready for
I
this?
believe, which is good.
Take this.
So in this chapter, Therion catches wind of where his old mentor, old friend, used to be, Darius. And Darius is in possession of the dragon eggs that we require to gain our freedom. And right now,
Don't start
we
things you
have
can't
run into a bunch of thieves that have ambushed us. And that has given Therion the idea to sneak into Darius's hideout. We also need these black cloaks that these thieves were wearing.
Yes. Also, just to, I guess, talk about the battle that Jacoby just finished. Basically, early on, there is like these side guys we have to defeat. They are actually not like trivial. They have a decent chunk of HP, so we usually have to break them. And it depends on what resources you have. There's scripts to use if you have, for example, 2 large soul stones of a certain type, or you would want to break with clerics, or alternatively with small M stones, depending on what resources you have left over. So the battle, you really just flex based on how it's gone so far in the run.
And anyway, you are at that infamous 3% steal, are you not?
Yes, so this is the second 3% in this category, unfortunately. Not, ideal that you have to do 2, but it is fastest if you can just get both reasonably. So one of the Golden Axe runners earlier, Yozarian, he actually theorized a way to save even more time in the early game, if anyone's curious. You saw me and Jacoby go to Quarry Crest and get the Wind Soulstone Medium in that town. But one thing Yozarian theorized was to go to Flames Grace, which is closer to Scholar Shrine, and then you could steal the 3% ice soulstone there. Obviously adds another 3%, but it saves a lot of time because you will not have to do as many encounter detours going to Quarry Crest. But I don't think but I don't think any runner has actually done that, because that throws another 3% at the start of the game. But in theory, if you could get more 3%, it would be faster. But obviously, it's not really recommended. It's better to just keep grinding a good category and try and get a good time and save time elsewhere. Which is why most categories avoid 3% if possible. In fact, most categories avoid 15% if possible. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that is so true. No, you're so good. I mean, you're the runner here. I was just gonna say, these long periods of trying to steal, which is this. Oh god, I thought somebody got it for a second there. I was like, oh! But these long periods of trying to steal the 3% item, it's quite. I always find them quite tiring and taxing too, because it is a bunch of repetitions. But if you lose your focus a little bit, you can end up trying to steal the wrong item, potentially losing reputation there. Oh, and we got it.
Yes.
Ooh, look at that. Okay. I guess I can move on. So as you can see, Therion got his little cloak so he can sneak into Darius's headquarters. And again, the beauty of the sprite work, Therion actually does have a different sprite when he's wearing the cloak, and if you save while he's wearing the cloak, I believe his save sprite is also him in the cloak. So there's just this immaculate attention to detail in this game. I'm sorry, I love Octopath so much. You should not have me on commentary.
There's so much detail in this game, like the little sprite works and the little things on the screen, the artwork, the music. Really, it's a labor of love that I think a lot of us appreciate as runners.
And I believe there's actually, and I this again could be me misstating truths. There's a wanted poster of Therion, I believe, too, on some of the walls. Or there's wanted pictures or posters as well. So just not even in the actual characters themselves, but the backgrounds as well. There's a lived-in world quality to it. I could be lying. Don't quote me on that. I could definitely be lying.
Yeah, there's so much detail. So just to talk about the Darius battle, you have to get so he starts off with 2 attacks. You have to survive his first attack with 30% HP or higher, and then your support skill Hang Tough procs and allows you to withstand his next attack. If you don't survive with 30% or higher, then you kind of just lose. You can't survive. I will probably be focusing on this, but QT or Jacoby, if you want to talk about the battle a little bit.
So this battle has gone through a couple iterations as of late. We used to do the AI manipulation, where if you get him over 50% in a specific turn order, his AI will get stuck, and he will never actually transition into phase 2, and he'll keep not re-upping his shields, but he will do the action that he will do his action cycle for right after it comes off of being broken.
Yes.
And he will keep doing that until the end of the battle, if you are able to get the AI manipulation. However, we also recently found out that that is not as fast as just kind of doing the battle. So we have recently transferred over to just kind of going for it, which is, I don't want to say, just kind of going for it is not the strat. That we have like guidelines as to what we should like really kind of be aiming for, but
definitely
how
not
we
easy.
kind of get there.
Yes.
It's
Definitely
not
not
an easy
easy.
battle.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong in terms of turn order and him not cooperating. You also are relying on eye for an eye. That's a support skill that gives a 50% chance of retaliating against the boss, and that may not always proc at the right time, or it could proc at the wrong time, which can actually hurt your chances. But it's just so good across the course of the battle that we take the risk anyway. But basically how the battle works right now is we bring him close to half, and then we do a whole ton of damage all at once, and then hopefully, alright, hold on a second, I gotta focus here.
Yeah, once we get him around half, we set up what's an ability called Armor Corrosive. We saw this in a bunch of different runs, but again, it's just flat physical defense reduction. And then we just go for a burst, which is we are effectively trying to get rid of most of his HP. We can't get rid of all of it within the armor corrosives that we set up. But we will get most of the way there. That way, it's not really going to be an issue for us to find a space to kind of finish off the little remaining he'll have afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that final boss fight. I always did love the AI loop, but I'm so sad to see it go.
Yes.
I remember you trying to explain that to me, and I was in awe that anybody had figured this out.
Shoutouts to Doi. They were the one who first figured out the AI loop, I believe, I believe that they were first anyway, or amongst the first. But afterwards, it started being used in the solo routes because some of the bosses, it's just a lot faster to do it that way.
Joyd is the master.
Yes, they found so many
They
glitches
are
and
incredible.
manipulations.
Yeah, shout out to Doid. Shout out to everyone in the Octopath.
Yeah, they're all great.
I think I have to say shout out to Zazu. I was throwing a little shade his way. Shout out to Zazu, Joyd, everybody. Yeah, again, like everybody's incredible. If you ever have any questions, like even a little bit casually, you can always drop by and say hello and get some help. I know, as people were saying in the chat, I remember feeling so welcomed when I joined, and just the more people in there, the better.
Yes. If anyone's interested in running, there's a lot of beginner categories that are really considerate of like newbies and such, where the routes are laid out very clearly. Some have pictures as well as you move along, and also like whole video guides as well, with like people even doing analysis. Like I remember Zazu did analysis on the Ophelia Thief Shrine beginner route. So highly recommend to check out that stuff out if you're interested.
And again, there's a little bit of everything for everybody. You have the shorter self-contained single story runs. You have a little bit more challenging glitched runs if that's something that you're super interested in. We have these more achievement-oriented runs with these solo travelers. You have your half-game runs with most of your favorite characters, with the half-stories, or your rogues, your nobles, your male travelers, your female travelers. You have your full-game categories with your secret boss, with your all main stories, with your all side stories, which is my favorite. And then you also have these more niche runs with these all jobs, these all first chapters. And if you really want to feel overpowered and like a beast, the Gates of Fini, which Droid was showcasing earlier, where you have all your bosses before the secret boss. If you're on PC, you can download the save data, and you can rush through all those, and that's the best setup. And I think that one's about 3 minutes of super fast, fun battling. I don't think it's actually 3 minutes. I'm definitely misstating, but it's very quick. It feels like 3 minutes.
I'll take this.
Oh, there you go. Droid is giving the answer to how the AI loop was found and investigated. Droid is just a wealth of knowledge.
Super grateful to have them in our community.
Ooh. Ouch. That sucked.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's fine. I made a bad play. That one's on me.
It happens. This boss is not easy by far. And also, shouts to Jacoby. He only started learning this to help me have someone to run against, and has done this only in about, I think, a month. Learning this whole new category, which is not easy by far. So shout out to him to, do this.
And you two are also doing the solo together for the Casty solo too. So not only did you learn to actually, the solo strats for Octopath Run, but also Octopath 2, which is, it shouldn't be its own different kind of beast, but it is in the way that the day-night cycles are set up there.
I'll take this.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm having a little bit of tech issues.
Sure.
You're good.
Desperate times.
Yeah, I got a little greedy on the thing, and I was like, oh, I had an extra hired help at the beginning, turn order. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I can survive 1 hit because I was still full HP Rev Jam. And then he hit me with a Will-o-the-Wisp. Like, never mind,
That's rough.
because I had 1 HP left. Dang.
Yeah, this boss will intermix his fire and dagger attacks. So very difficult to play around sometimes. Also, just turn order might not work out as well. So it can be rough, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've lost a couple PBs to just not getting a good turn order at the beginning and dying, as well as a damage roll, because there's just you just cannot survive his first turn, and you can't really do anything about that. If he rolls high enough damage on steel item, then you go below 30%, and Hang Tough will not proc.
There are a couple of, when you're doing the solo, that the final boss is sort of does not like to play fair. I can think of a couple. I believe Werner of Albert, Chapter 4 is like that. Red Eye is also, I believe, like that. I think I got stuck on Red Eye for 2 hours my first Comet run. So, some of these, especially for Darius, who's a thief, he doesn't play fair. If we weren't skipping through the cutscenes, you would see that Darius will definitely play dirty to get ahead, so it's no surprise that he plays dirty in his final fight. But you guys are still making exceptional time.
I'm ready for you. Desperate times. Here.
Yes, we did have a question in the chat, but Looter Scooter answered it. We're going back to why Merchant is such a great class. Not only do they have Donate P, which is Donate Boost Points, not only do they have Hired Help, which is that pay to win against the boss, but they also have sidestep, which 100% dodges a physical attack that any enemy will do against you. And we will see that actually coming up in a couple of places, especially with these Chapter 4 bosses who have these sweeping attacks that can one-shot all your party members. Having that sidestep gives those two merchants, so Tressa and whatever other character has the merchant job class equipped, to get to your other party members back up. And perfect timing! GG, anime!
Thank you. I guess to talk about this Darius, thank you, Jacoby. Just to talk about the Darius battle a little bit. So way back when I first learned about the AI loop, I started to route solo Obrick and used the loop. At the time, Doi was also looking into solo Therion as well. And then after I did a run, I had previously done a run without the AI loop because I didn't know about it. But then I routed it in and started using it. Around that time, a little bit afterwards, QT also joined the community and also did the solo Therion run. And during that time, there was some experimentation with the route and such in the battle. And Darius had like a few different approaches and such. Like QT did a slightly different strategy that used a different dagger and such. And then in addition to that, I later came back and routed it some more. Basically, it's kind of complicated because you want Darius to get close to half, but at halfway he powers up to 3 actions, and usually that's really bad. But if you can put on armor corrosive beforehand, you can use, which is a debuff that decreases his physical defense. Then your hard help attacks will do more damage, and then that will allow you to burst him before he can burst you sometimes, depending on how the battle goes and such. If it's a little unlucky or bad, it can go southward. And then after that, that was mainly found because of Jacoby's experimentation when I was watching his runs and such, and I saw that there were some times when he didn't bother with the AI loop, but he still won because he managed to burst them, and that made me realize that I could also route that out. The AI loop is really nice because it does give you kind of a free guaranteed win, but it is turn order dependent. Like, you're just waiting for the right turn to do it, where you have to break him exactly after halfway, and that's not always possible. Depending on, or sometimes you'll run out of SP, or you'll run out of sidesteps, and then he'll steal your items occasionally too, as you have seen in this battle. So it can be kind of bad. So you see here, for example, Jacoby just lost his items, which is really unfortunate. Just the timing of it can really throw things off sometimes.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm not making the wrong play by setting up the 2 armor corrosive there. I think it should be fine.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you might just need a little more damage later on, but she'll hopefully be fine, yeah. So, anyways, for the chat, also, Alta Biscuit mentioned that Jacoby and I will be running solo Casty if anyone wants more solo goodness. So highly recommend tuning in if you're interested. Also, the other runs that happen tomorrow as well. There's a lot of good categories and things, but solo Casty, a lot more stable of a run than this. Honestly, probably more fun in my opinion, but this is okay too.
And I think people have to tune into the single story relay that's happening later today too, and see just how the power of friendship can potentially change Therion's journey as well.
Yes. So QT will be participating in the in the Galdera relay race, where she and 5 other runners will be taking turns across 2 runs to defeat the full game boss of this game. So highly recommend that as well. It's a very entertaining run. So if people are watching Jacoby's screen, Darius just powered up. So that is his battle cry ability, which gives him 3 actions per turn. This is the dangerous part of the run where Darius will have more actions per turn, but he does spam fire attacks, which helps a lot. The fire attacks will do no damage, so it's basically a free turn. And then it's just hoping to keep up BP and that your Eye for an Eye will proc enough, and that you'll have the pomegranates and items to carry you along the way. Also,
yeah, I'm in a really risky spot here because I got to survive 3. It's not good. Okay, so it's not gonna happen here. Because I ended up Eye for an Eye turn order just didn't work out where Eye for an Eye went down. So
it is unfortunate, but this is not an easy battle for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
what's time?
Right now we're at 1 hour, 13 minutes, 35 seconds.
All right.
And you have about 7 minutes, 6 minutes.
You ready
Yes.
for this?
All right,
I'm
I'll
doing
give
that
it
in that
one more
purpose order.
attempt.
Sure.
We'll give it one more attempt, and if it works out, it works out.
Yeah.
If not, no biggie. This is a really hard final boss.
And you two did a great job showing off these solo speedruns. I mean, incredible, especially you, Jacoby, to jump in so quickly. We love seeing an all variety. I'm so glad we got to see not only the more traditional runs what you can think of when you think of an Octopath Traveler, marathon, but we got to see some glitched, we got to see some solo, these more, I don't want to say niche, but more so, not all the runners definitely run them. They're a bit more of a, I guess we can say niche or fringe sort of runs.
Desperate times.
And
The whole chat is cheering for you, Jacoby. Come on, you got this.
Also, Alta mentioned that tomorrow in the morning time, we will have Quadriceps and Teppo, who are two top-tier Galdera speedrunners, and they'll be racing as well. That will be a full game run and also very entertaining for anyone who's interested. Highly recommend tuning into that. Galdera is definitely one of the runs that are the most complex and most interesting, but also just the coolest to see how everything comes together just very neatly and efficiently.
And jokingly, that's the 3% miss you do not want to get. If you want, that, but that 3% happens a lot more frequently than I think the 3% steals do.
Wait, are you talking about the Steel SP or?
With the LeBlanc, the black. I'm joking. It's actually 3%, but it feels like it's 3%.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. The final boss in that you can miss one of the parts in it. So. But yeah. So I guess to also talk about other differences in the solo speedrun route. Past routes have used the Forbidden Dagger, which is a dagger we got from the forest early on. There was also one that used the Fire Amulet for 50% reduction. That was the first route I did. The Inferno Amulet, there was also one that used the Empowering Necklace. I would say of the solo speedruns in the first game, Therion has the most options to approach his final boss, because his steals let him get anything. It's just what steal do you want to do, and there's probably more optimizations to be found. But there's been some interesting routes and things that have come out of it, and also different ways to approach the bosses and such as well. All of the solos, I think, usually will have like some niche strategy, usually to specialize against the boss, which is one of the reasons why I I run them and enjoy them.
And I think that's so true too. We're still having all these new updates. If you were just saying to these runs, if you were just saying with Jacoby finding the burst damage, these are by no way settled. I mean, there's some more established speedrunning routes, but that's not to say there's not new optimizations around the corner. So, I mean, that's always incredible, and it's amazing to see this new talent come into their community and to test new things out and have their own ways of playing and their own preferences, and maybe finding a time save like that.
Yes. QT, how are you feeling? Because you have a few runs coming up as well, right?
Yes, I have. I'm immediately following this with all-female travelers, or all women. That's going to be on the Switch. There's going to be no Kate mod on that, so I'm feeling a little... That'll be interesting. I think Tyler, Salt, and I are going to have a great run. I'm looking forward to hearing somebody else's voice, not just mine.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it too. So Octopath Traveler came out originally on the Switch, and in the early days, the Switch was the thing that everyone ran on, and such, until the PC came out, PC version came out, and it is it is slower, of course, because PC just loads faster. So like, for example, across a 40-minute run, you would save like 2 or 3 minutes or something, and then across like 4 hours, you might save like 20 minutes or something. But because of that, the Switch runs have a lot of history behind them and are really cool. and also that's how like it also changed the way some things were routed. For example, because the loading into a screen or battle was slow, we would take things that avoided battles more often. One that I recall vividly was Cyrus Chapter 1. There's a soul stone in the palace, but to go grab it on the Switch, because of the load time, I believe it was slower to get that than to just do the alternative strat. And then there's also dungeons like Hanet Chapter 4, which has a lot of lag, and then you notice that a lot in the Switch. But in exchange for that, the Switch version has longer encounter rates between enemies. So for example, you can traverse longer distances and not get a battle, which can be good for like exploration and looting items and things. So it's a bit of a trade-off sometimes. It's overall still slower, but there are some minor benefits and things.
Yeah, but I think one of the huge trade-offs is we saw how beneficial these Kates were to this run and getting this
Oh yes.
run off the ground. There is no Kate mod for Switch. It's terrible. It's so sad. How did we live for a Kate mod? I am joking. I do love the Switch, but it's true.
Out of my way.
Yeah, I remember when I first routed the solos, Solo Therion required a Kate, and I had to grind one on the Switch. So I on my channel I have they're still up, but they're basically my phone camera pointed at my Switch playing, and I would play Chapter 1, hope for a Kate, and if I got it, then I would continue with the run. If not, I would reset, and that was not fun. I'm not, I don't enjoy Kate mod grinding and such. So Kate mod, the fact that it was made and for the community, I think it helps a lot of people, because a lot of us are, we do this as a side hobby and things, and it's not something that we want to be grinding like hours to get this Kate rare, the 3% rare enemy that will let us continue a run and hopefully PB and such. So it's just a quality of life to have people save time and still enjoy the game more. So really grateful for it.
It shouldn't stop you. We just heard the fantastic news that Octopath 1 and Octopath 2 are coming to Octopath Switch with these graphical improvements and these load time books. If you are ever interested in picking out this game and you have the Switch 2, do not let that stop you from playing it just because you can't get a guaranteed case. You don't need one to appreciate the story. You don't need it if you want to try some speedrunning. We have separate categories for a reason. And I'm just so happy to hear the great news about that. I might just be buying a Switch for Octopath 2. I was holding off on it. I was waiting to see if there's a prettier Switch that came out, but I'm gonna need one.
It would be great if the second, if the re-release does have some minor quality of life improvements. Later today we're gonna see, we actually already saw some Octopath 2, a little bit of Octopath 2, but we'll see more Octopath 2, across the marathon this weekend. And there's a lot of quality of life in that runners appreciate. Like for example, 2x battle speed, speed up in the graphics, and also like even the menu position where the cursor is located. That's also just a little more convenient in the second game. So to get that would be really nice. And hopefully, like if there was an improved version one day, but if it's just a re-release, that's still nice, and we're glad as fans of the game that it's getting love and such. Oh, and also as Chewy mentioned in the chat, there's non-Kate routes as well, which they don't lose like a ton of time, often like 1 minute to 4 minutes or something. Like if you, as long as you're not aiming for world record, they're still fun to play with and such.
Okay, we'll be fine. Let's do this.
You got this, Jack. We have
I'll be
faith in
fine.
you.
We're good. We have enough. We have enough side steps that collecting there is safe, and he's at 95 collect, which means that collect adds 5% to whatever their HP loss is, and that's the percentage that you have for it to actually work.
Yes.
And because I was at 95, a 4 times boosted vets will do 17% collect, so I should be.
Okay.
This should finish right.
If not, you have a lot of side steps, I think. It should be okay.
Yeah, I should have enough. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, I'm over 100% collect, so he's like at 98.9% health. So.
Okay. He's probably have just a tiny sliver of HP because, well, he was at 90, and then you did.
Yeah.
He's very close. Like if you have soul stones, you can finish him, I think.
I gotta. I probably throw the light.
Whatever is the strongest type and thing that you have.
Yeah, I only have a.
Wait.
The
do you have any
light will
soul-
probably. I only
Uh,
have one light.
yeah, I
I got
think
a
that's
light stone.
probably the
That
strongest.
should
thing
be
you have.
enough. Yeah.
Yes, hopefully.
I would think so.
It might
good.
be close. I can't remember. I think
We're
that's
good.
the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
So try
The
it.
And that's that.
Yeah. All right.
Yay!
Cool. Skipping these cutscenes, and then that's it. All right.
Nice.
Yeah, so he
GG's.
was-
Let's go. Hell yeah, Jacoby.
And
Nice
then
job.
Yeah.
Shout
Alright,
outs to
that was
Jacoby learning this and running this within a month. Not easy for sure.
Yeah. That
go-
that fight has always been like blocking for some reason.
Yes,
So I'm happy that it didn't go too
nice.
terribly
Nice.
today.
That was,
Only
that was
one
great.
reset, which is good.
So we are going to be taking a short break before we continue on. Everyone else, please stay tuned in and such. We'll be seeing QT. What are you running again?
We're running all female travelers.
Okay,
or all
all
women.
right.
But please make sure you refresh your streams. We are changing restreamers.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the refresh. We're about to kick off half game category for Octopath 1. This is going to be all females, and I'm going to be doing commentary, joined here by Yakubu.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for the countdown for the runners to get started. They're both actually going to be running on Switch rather than on PC, so things are going to be a little bit slower with load times and whatnot. And there's not going to be a Kate mod, so they're going to have to hope for a Kate or do Whistlewood. So we might see some fun going on there.
Yeah, we love going to Whistlewood for sure.
So a little bit of background about this run as they go through Haunted Chapter 1 to get things started, which is the same as any other Haunted Chapter 1, is that I would say this is the easiest half game run to get into if you're looking to get into a longer run than single story. This is the one I started with, and it has a lot less RNG than some of the other half game categories. It's shorter than Galdera, so it's really fun. And I'll say that one thing that the runners are going to manage, and we're going to talk about a bit, is managing the money route, which starts to become more and more important as the runs get longer and you need more and more money to make sure you can use all your hired helps. So that's one thing we're going to be talking about and highlighting too.
Yeah, for sure. And also, not only money, but also your soul stones are going to be extremely important throughout this run, especially when for completing Hani's chapters. Her chapter requires you to do a lot of provokes. And we are not going to spend too much time like capturing strong beasts, which is what the game intends you to do. So what are we doing instead? We are relying on soul stones for that. So something interesting that this route has is you use or you expect to get a lot of endless item procs, which is basically you do not use your items, and depending on that you can either save a lot of time or having to go pick up extra soulstones somewhere else. The route is obviously routed so that you can finish it no matter what, but obviously how many soulstone endless item procs you get is going to widely change whether or not you need to pick up these sort of backups.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the better support skills and one of the make or breaks between maybe pushing for a PB is if you have to go get the backup soul stones or not. Just praying for that endless item proc, which I believe is 25%, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
and you can notice it when we get there because it does like a little chirp sound and has a little flash on the character. It's pretty quick, but you can notice in game if you're paying attention to it.
Yeah, I like to call them freebies because they remind me of the freebies from Super Mario RPG, which are essentially the same thing. You do not actually use the item. So yeah, I don't know. I think you, Yosarian, have more experience with the history of this route. So I don't know if you wanna maybe talk a bit about how the round first came to be and all of that. I'm sort of a new boy, so I only know like the most recent developments.
Yeah, I don't know how much huge history I have in this, but maybe a little bit more. Yeah, this run, they there's a few ways you can start. You always start with Haunted because this makes it quickest to get evasive maneuvers, the support skill that obviously makes fewer encounters. But then it sort of diverges onto which characters you're going to get second, third, and fourth, of course. The order you're going to get them. So you can go Ophi or you can go Tressa, and there's trade-offs in all of them. A lot of the trade-offs are usually how many, we'll say, dangerous screens you're willing to risk as you push for PBs, trying to go for tougher areas or trying to get some fleas and stuff like that. But the route is generally scripted. But I don't know, these runners might actually be doing different routes. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing the same route. But there's a couple fights just later against the Chapter 4 bosses that he'll have like a 1 in 8, 1 in 16, something like that chance of ruining your run. But generally the gist here is going to be trying to get evasive maneuvers, and then for both routes, they're going to try to get Snatch, the passive, as quickly as possible, which will make Collect give them more money. And as we were saying, the money route is the important part. So there's been changes over time of like which caves and which dungeons you go to pick up items, to sell, and things of that nature. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll see a little divergence between the two runners here on which routes they do.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting to see. I know one of the quotation marks more recent developments has been to pick up Tressa as early as possible. So it's like an early Tressa route. And the reason for doing this is because Tressa has her passive, which just passively gives you money as you go around. And the amount of money you get from this passive, it depends on the level of the area. So if you go to higher level areas, you're gonna get more money. So the early Tressa route hinges a lot on this. You get Tressa as soon as you can, and then you go explore all of those high level areas with evasive maneuvers, of course. And this gives you a lot of passive money. And one of the big upsides of this route is that since you get this money passively, you can skip some other sources of money that would normally take a long time. I know the big one you skip on the early Tressa route is the visit to the Maw of the Ice Dragon, where you normally get 30k from a chest, but with early Tressa you can skip that. Obviously, the downside of this is that since you pick Tressa so early, she's your second character. The third one you have to pick is Ophelia, and her boss. So the first chapter bosses get more health as you have more characters. So having to go for Ophi third means that that boss is a lot more tankier, so you have to use big soulstones. So that's like the trade-off. You get more money, but you lose a few bigger soulstones. So it's an interesting trade-off for sure.
It really is.
Battle route, but not by a lot.
Yeah, and I think because I haven't ran this in we'll say a couple of years, which is kind of crazy. But when I was doing it, we start Haunted Chapter 2, then we go get Ophelia, and then we get Tressa. So it does go and pick up like those extra money. So we'll say newer, as you were saying, like Tressa route before Ophi is really interesting. And I'm pretty sure that's what Tyler's going to do, right? I think Tyler's doing earlier Tressa. So we'll get to see.
Well, let's see. Yes, I am.
Yeah, thanks for chiming in there. Yeah, Tyler will be joining here and there just to explain some of the nuances of what he's doing.
Now we are, since we completed Hanit's Chapter 1, as it usually is in Octopath games, once we complete the first chapter, we are sort of free to roam the land. So this is where really the game opens up. What both runners are going to be doing is they're going to visit Flame's Grace, which is where Ophi is. We're not going to recruit Ophi right now, because as I mentioned before, we do need some more resources to quickly defeat the boss from Ophi Chapter 1. But we do want to tag the place, so we can come back later quickly. And it is convenient because it's just along the way as we're going to the Scholar Shrine, where we're going to get the also good skill of evasive maneuvers that 99% of the runs get. So
Yeah. All the runs in Octopath 1 generally involve getting evasive maneuvers as quickly as possible. Which sometimes, like you'll see later in the single story relays for like Ulbrich and some characters, you're really far from that Scholar Shrine. So it takes quite a lot of running around before you actually go get it. Ooh, oh my god, is Kitty gonna die here? No way, right? Okay. She's got to heal after this fight though.
oh yeah, that was close.
I think they both got ambushed, and I think QD's ambush was the double squirrels, if I remember, or something like that. So when you're doing all this running around, you can risk like dying if you have bad RNG. You don't get your fleas, you get double encounters. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we zoomed out of the video for a sec. There we go. We're back.
Okay, we are so back. So yeah, something interesting is that since the runners are doing the Switch version, there's no Kate mode, there's nothing like that. So how do we get enough job points to get evasive maneuvers? We need 130. Well, first we have to get to the shrine. Obviously, to skip an encounter, Hanit can provoke this NPC that's just conveniently placed there, and then we get the shrine. But after that, we need to get the job points. So also conveniently on this very screen, there is a medium soulstone that we're gonna pick up, and we're gonna use to go to a certain area. Hope we get a good encounter, use the soulstone, and get the job points.
And fun fact, this screen going to the Scholar Shrine has killed many a run for some of the characters. So like Ulbrich and Hanet can do the provoke. But like Ophelia, for example, you just walk and pray. And I think there's like a 10% chance you don't get the encounter. And if you do, you have to just hope you flee okay. There's a lot of variance there. So it's really valued that Hanet can just provoke there and not have to worry about it, because so many runs have died there.
Yeah, for sure. Depending on the character that you try to get to the shrine, obviously it's gonna be almost guaranteed more difficult, or as you say, it's just 10% pray. But luckily for Hanet, it is sort of very easy, since you can provoke and that resets the encounter. So you can just get there somewhat easily. Yeah, something else interesting about the females route, all girls, no boys allowed, any way you want to call it, is that since we need to complete 4 stories, that's 16 bosses that we need to go, and up to 16 areas that we need to travel to eventually. So as we are going along, we're going to be tagging a lot of these places that we are going to come back later. So for instance, now the runners are tagging Noble Court, and that is where Primrose Chapter 3 takes place. So this is not only something we do to skip encounters, but also conveniently we get the tag so we can quickly fast travel there later.
And it's a lot easier to run around with the one character, because on a lot of screens you get easier encounters if you just have the one character. Once you start adding to your party, then you'll get like 3 enemies and it becomes harder to flee. So by running around with just Hanet, that also helps in that aspect too. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of running errands for a while. So you're going and tagging all the places.
Yeah, the early game of this route is for sure. You run around you go to a lot of high level areas that you conveniently have to go back later for final bosses. So you go to Everhold, you go to Marsalim, I don't remember which one, Ramport 2. You go to almost every high level area where a female character has a final boss. So obviously this is good because you can tag those locations, so when you need to do them, you can fast travel, but along the way you pick up a lot of goodies that are pretty useful.
Oh my god, this turn order for QT, so bad.
Ooh,
Double
yeah.
ant surprise, and then they're first there. Oh, please flee, please flee. Oh, thank god. And also like all this traveling around opens up so many opportunities for routing. of like the fastest optimal path between the towns and tagging and fast traveling and stuff, which is really fun if you're trying to figure out and route something in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I think Tyler just got the one of the good encounters on the Whisper Wind, and so he just cleared the encounter with the Soulstone he picked up. So now he has evasive maneuvers, so he's ready to roam the world.
Yeah, let's hope that QT has a similar outcome here. Fingers crossed. No! Oh, this
Yeah.
is the pain.
Yeah, this is for sure the bane of, I would say, Octopath runners across the globe. Is getting surprised by high-level encounters. Trying to mess into and going to high-level areas where you're not supposed to has this risk. If an encounter gets to you, you can very easily get ambushed because of the level difference, and there's not much you can do other than reload the autosave and try it again.
And this is when they gotta do so they can get that JP for evasive maneuvers. No!
Oh,
Again.
another one.
And really, nothing she can do about it. It's just bad luck there.
Yeah, it's one of the hurdles that runners have to overcome, and not much you can do other than just keep trying until you get it. Yeah, I believe Tyler now is going to go pick up one large soulstone in a very high level area. Oh, QT got the good encounter. And she got it. But yeah, Tyler is now going to this, which I believe is like the highest level area in the entire game, the Forest of Purgation, level 58, and Hanit is here is level, I don't know, 5. So, but thanks to evasive maneuvers, we can just pick up the few treasures that we need and just leave before we get into any nasty encounters. So there he gets a bunch of money and a big soulstone, which we are going to be using now to get Tressa. This is like where the routes, I'm guessing, are going to be diverging. Tyler's gonna get
QT
Tressa
said
right
her
away.
controller stopped working. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Well, we'll keep watching Tyler for a bit. But yeah, one thing about this route and all the other Octopath ones is that it's routed very specifically with the step count, which is random on each screen, but does have a minimum, where you can go and pick up the chests with exactly the amount of steps to be safe while still collecting the items. So a lot of these in this category, but also in the single story relays that we'll watch later, you'll see the runners go into these high level areas, and me included especially, but if you take a couple extra steps, you have a really high chance of getting an encounter that just kills you. So movement in these high level zones is quite important for them to keep things going.
I'm gonna pause here until QT gets her controller. I see she had to reset her set of system, so I'm just gonna stand still for a second. Okay, good. Looks like it's working again.
Better have saved her Whistlewood.
Oh no.
Because I think it froze on the screen where she was getting the tutorial of equipping a support skill, which I think she was doing in this area. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh, that sucks to get surprised by the good encounter. Feels bad.
Yeah, it's a really bad feel for sure.
Yeah. For Tressa 1, what we're doing is going and finding all the sleepy pirates, sleepy people, and gonna go and They just use an L stone here. Just immediately kill Mick and Mac with the L stone.
Hi, Mick and Mac. Bye, Mick and Mac.
It's that easy.
Yeah, see, this game is easy.
He's gonna be doing a lot of exploring. As I mentioned earlier, a passive called Eye for Money, which lets her just pick up money from unfortunate souls. We do not know for sure what these souls are, but the good thing is we get a lot of passive money just by going through high level areas. And as I mentioned before, this is pretty good because the amount of money you do get from all of this exploring is quite substantial. And it's gonna allow us basically to fuel all of that we need to do in this run, from obviously using higher health, pay to win, but also buying soul stones, which, as I mentioned also before, are gonna be pretty useful.
Yeah, and there's unlike Octopath 2, where you can just go to the merchant and buy them, you have to find the random townsfolk that are selling them in all these different places, which makes it a lot more strategic in where you're going to find all these soul stones. And then you can, if you want to see how Tress is picking up money, it shows it in the top left of the screen. That'll show you how much money she's picking up on each screen. So these are lower levels, so it's not too many leaves, but as you go to the high level areas, that number will be pretty large.
Yep, here we're picking the first shrine, the warrior. We pick up the secondary job of the warrior. We do pick up a handful of them on this run. I believe we do warrior, thief, obviously merchant, and apothecary. So we will be, obviously, as we go by these areas, we will be picking up these extra jobs.
And it's nice to see apothecary get some love. Alphen and apothecary does not get a lot of love in the speedruns, but it does have its uses. Oh, I feel so bad for
Chapter 2 memes, by the way.
Oh, what was that?
Start on Chapter 2, immediately leave.
Yeah.
We'll be back to do that in a couple of hours.
Yeah, and that goes down to some routing too, where oftentimes you'll start a character's chapter and then just bail, but then come back and finish it later because maybe it has you go all over town, or you just don't have the L stones to kill the boss now, or you want the experience on the other characters. A lot of reasons to delay that.
I took a save on this screen because this skipping this encounter is really tight, but it's possible. So I usually save, but then go forward anyway without resetting.
Yeah, that's a good approach sometimes when it's like sometimes you can't skip an encounter, but not always, and there is a save point nearby. You can use the save point, try to see if you skip the encounter, and if you don't...
Encounter.
Hey, we did it.
Not surprised.
Nice.
We love seeing 5 worms.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Now the run can start. Yeah. For chat, by the way, I know it looks like I've got a decent sized lead here, but I lost 8.5 minutes to Esmeralda in my D-Rust run, so nothing is set in stone.
Fun fact, you can actually get through this Moonstruck Coast screen with no encounter, but it's less than 5%, I think.
I have never seen that.
No, it's definitely not worth risking, but
no, absolutely.
It's possible. Uh-oh, did something happen again? No, she's getting locked on that screen.
Oh, that's so rare.
Switch problems.
Hope she went outside.
Yeah, she's too fast.
Yeah.
think the whistle woods are cursed.
Okay, good. So she got it.
Oh, nice. Right. We can continue now. Well, Tyler's getting the merchant sub job. The merchant, I'm pretty sure that you should know by now what the merchant can enable us to do. Big pay to win.
Yeah, this is going to open up hired help. So we'll have Tressa and I think it varies battle to battle, but which other characters the merchant?
It's mostly
It's usually-
Primrose.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
it's Primrose. I believe Primrose, you turn her into a merchant and you really never switch that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else is a merchant in the run, although all of them will learn some merchant skills for the passives.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, as we were saying before, also the thing about Apothecary getting some love in this run, I think it's pretty neat because Apothecary's got a passive after you learn 3 skills, I believe, that gives you extra health. And that extra health comes in really clutch when we need to deal with some higher level bosses that
Yeah, I think it's like
we should not be
500
doing
health,
at our levels.
right? Like it gives you a good amount of health.
Yeah, it's 500, and that's pretty key to survive certain bosses as we are approaching. I believe that it's Primrose 3, it's like the main one, but many bosses after that also become doable consistently with this extra health that you get. So it's pretty nice, and it's gonna last a while. So it's pretty good.
I'm picking up some backup soul stones here.
Yeah, Tyler's
And-
doing what Tyler's doing here is you go to the screen he's entering now, and then you pick up the El Soulstone, and then you leave because you're not going to make it to the town, and then you leave and you pick up something on the other screen, and then you go back so you have enough steps, because there's no way you'd be able to pick up all this stuff and all these chests and still make it without an encounter. Even to the save point, it's not a very friendly screen.
You can also provoke the best-selling author standing there to reset if you're not going to get those soul stones, or if you just get the wind one, the large one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you only get the large one, you can get the large one, the money, and then provoke the author. And that allows you to reach the save point somewhat safely. I failed once, but I blame bad movement.
Oh, come on.
I blame the game. I never blame my movement. Ah,
Oh no, it's the birds.
the birds.
Birds are jerks. That's my fault. My movement was real sloppy.
No,
on that
no. That's the game's
What-
fault. It's
What
not.
did we just say? What did we just say? Yeah, here we are trying to reach Cramport.
Oh,
which is
come
where-
on.
Oh, not again. Oh, that was like
These really
one step
awesome
away.
fights. Yeah. Throwing for content.
You're just helping make the runs even and more competitive.
Exactly.
Yeah, hopefully third time is gonna be the charm.
You.
Pretty nice. So yeah, Grand Port is an interesting place. There's a ton of merchants, so obviously Teresa is gonna have a field day there, but not right now. We're gonna come back later to when we get more money, because there's a lot of good items there for us. In the meantime, we are just gonna take a quick detour to this cave, the Lock of the Lost King, to once again pick up a big soulstone and money. That's like what we always do in these big areas.
And again, with Tressa's passive, you pick up about 1,600 leaves, which is a good amount. And then the step count is figured out to be exactly enough to get to that chest safe. And if Tyler took like 5 more steps, there'd probably be an encounter.
Yeah, it just
It's
happens
very
to work out.
optimized to get those like high level items you probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, precisely. Also, we're gonna be fast traveling to Stoneguard a bunch because it is like a nice central hub from where we can branch out to a bunch of different areas. So that's why we went there first. Obviously, we are not gonna do Hanit's Chapter 2 yet, but having that tag is pretty useful overall. We're gonna go back there 3 or 4 times, I believe.
But annoyingly, it's like annoying to get out of the town because you have to weave around 8 different paths before you get to where it diverges.
Oh yeah, yeah. That area in particular, when I was learning this category, I got lost there so many times. I would pick up the wrong path. I would end up in Cobbletown or something.
Because you think you can go left, but you would
Yeah.
think wrong. That's a
Yeah.
dead end.
Yeah, that too. So the path can be a bit more complicated to navigate than it seems at first.
Yeah, the highlands are tricky.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Tyler's gonna be tagging Everhold, which is where Primrose final
OT4,
chapter.
right?
Prim 4, yeah. takes
Prim
place.
4.
Oh.
Yeah. But most importantly, we're gonna be taking a detour to the Everhold tunnels, which is another pretty high level dungeon. There's a lot of good items there. And importantly, there is a good weapon there because yes, it's not all about throwing money at our problems. Sometimes we also need to chop them to pieces. So we're gonna pick up a very good axe that Hanit is gonna make good use of in there. Which is something I find pretty interesting about this route, is that obviously money is very important, higher help is very important, but also if you can find opportunities to benefit from Hanit chopping up enemies to save money, that's pretty good, and we make use of that in quite a few fights. Oh yeah, an axe that Hanit can make good use of. Where have I heard that before?
Oh, this screen Tyler's on can be brutal too. I don't think it's guaranteed safe, even with perfect movement. I think this is one where I've lost a few half game categories. Oh, are we gonna see the buffer glitch? Oh no, that's just the step reset. Never mind.
Yeah, so behind that prompt, there's a boss, an optional boss, but we are not going to do it. The only thing we do is we interact with it. And by saying no, we do not want to fight, we reset the step route. So that allows us to move and explore a bit further into this dungeon. So we pick up a bunch of money, and most importantly, we will pick up, I'm going to call it the golden axe because that's the only option. That's true. But as I mentioned, it's going to be a pretty good weapon for Hanit.
Do they
Yeah,
use
you
the
can see
buffer glitch
also-
in this route? I don't think there's any buffer glitches, right?
No, not in this one.
Yeah, we'll see some in the single story runs though.
Yeah, for sure.
And then those can be explained by the commentators then.
Yeah, I tried to do the buffer glitch, but I failed, so I am by no means an expert on it. Yeah, it's interesting. You can see how the runs are diverging, sort of diverging now, because QT is just doing the same things that Tyler's doing, but QT is doing it with solo Hanit, while Tyler already picked up Tressa. So obviously QT is missing up on that passive eye for money resources, but since she's gonna pick up, and I think she's gonna do it right now actually, she's gonna pick up Offie second. Her fight against the Guardian is gonna be a lot cheaper in terms of resources used, because since Office being pick up second, the guard has much less health, which is also something that you need to consider. It's pretty important the order in which you pick up the characters. So yeah, in the meantime, Tyler is continuing to raid different places. He tagged Marsalim, which is where Hanit 4 takes place. And this is a nice place. There's some good resources. We can start purchasing some very useful items, like
There's a lot of good items here. Yeah.
you do not want to provoke that, but yeah, big soulstones, bombs, pretty useful. And there's some chests here with some good equipment as well.
Yeah, getting to Marsalim quick can open up a lot of options for runners or even casual players, just with all those chests there.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, now Kit is gonna be fighting the first boss of Office Chapter 1. And yeah, we can get this one down pretty quickly now. And we only have to use one large and one medium soulstone. So that saves us one large soulstone. And as I mentioned, those are really valuable, so everyone you can save, it's pretty good.
The alternative is to just get lucky and have endless items proc for all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that the endless items thing is pretty fun in this run, because it makes it really interesting, because you can on the fly react to how many endless items procs you get and which items, and this can open up different strategies. I believe in the previous route for this category, you could even do a different Esmeralda strategy that was faster, but only if you got enough bomb procs. I don't remember exactly the details. But
Yeah,
I know
it's
that's
not
something you can
just
do.
the L stones you would want procs on. You would want the pomegranates to have procs too, and then that could open up some other options for sure.
Yeah, I do like how both runners are doing completely different things, but they are all converged in the end. So yeah, Kitty now is gonna pick up Tressa. And the good thing about Tressa is that it doesn't matter if you pick her up second or third, it's still gonna take you one large soulstone to take out Mick and Mac.
And this is one distinct difference between Octo 1 and Octo 2, because as we saw earlier in Octo 2, if you're picking up a new character, you can just totally skip their Chapter 1. Versus in this game, you gotta do them all. So anyone who's run this game has done Tressa's Chapter 1 hundreds, maybe thousands of times.
Yeah,
Always get her.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, Tyler, I believe, is heading to Quarry Crest.
Quarry, right? Yeah.
Yep, Quarry Crest. This is where Tressa Chapter 2 takes place, and it's also a very interesting area because usually areas where Tressa has something to do have a lot of merchants, a lot of people that sell good items. So what we're gonna do here is you start Tressa Chapter 2. We do a part of it, and along the way we just buy a bunch of items, mainly soulstones. I believe only soulstones, really. And then we just leave because we need to come back later to complete that chapter much later. Same as we did with Hanit.
Yeah, she does a lot of her steals and like half the story stuff on the convenience screens, and then leaves before having to do stuff that's out of the way. Which is,
Steals, please. That
again,
it's
interesting
legitimate
routes.
commerce.
Yeah, Quarry Crest is also nice because we have to stop her here, obviously, but also very close is the Thief Shrine, and Thief is pretty important in this run. Since boys are not allowed, we cannot have Therion. So getting the Thief license is gonna be what's gonna give us access to Armor Corrosive, which, as you all know, is the only way to boost the damage of higher help. So that's gonna be pretty important.
Yeah, and the thief also has the support skill Snatch, which has the nice synergy with Collect, where the Collect will yield like twice as much money, which is huge when you collect on like the Chapter 4 bosses, for example. I assume this route uses it a little bit too, at least. Right?
Yeah, for sure. This the early treasure route also goes for Snatch, and I believe it takes advantage on the same bosses. But yeah, Snatch is a pretty good passive that doubles the amount of money and items you get from Collect and Steal. And that's pretty good because many high-level bosses have a lot of money to collect and have some pretty valuable items to steal. So getting double of that is pretty good.
And from a routing perspective, it's interesting, or the battle perspective, because sometimes you have to delay the fights longer than you would like, because you could just kill the boss, but you need to put in an extra turn where you can collect. And a lot of these fights are so well optimized that when changing to this route, it was hard to figure out where you could interject an extra turn to collect. Which is an interesting strategy, because then it, of course, saves you having to go to a cave and find a chest or something like that. But then your fight's got to be one turn longer, and you got to survive one turn longer, which is not always easy in the Chapter 4 bosses.
Yeah, for sure. It's a pretty interesting like piece of the puzzle that you need to see how to fit, as you say, into the fight. I think it's pretty neat, and it usually works out really well. And yeah, with Snatch, it's twice as important to steal good stuff and collect good money.
And oftentimes you'll collect in the fight, like right before you would use hired help. So turn order is also important there too.
Yeah,
And we'll talk about that more when we get to those later fights. All right, so Tyler wrapping up OT1.
So I'm going to do something here that is Switch exclusive because we can't guarantee a Kate, and we need to use that Noble Court Flats light M stone in the Whistlewood. We need another light M for the route, and the easiest one that I've been able to find is to purchase it here from this Knight Ardent outside Flamesgrave's Cathedral.
Yeah, that's a good observation. Basically, the early treasure route is made with the assumption that you're going to be using Kate mod, but obviously in Switch you cannot do that. So you need to find a replacement for the was it Light M? Yep, Light M that you would normally get and use on the Kate. But now we had to use it on the Whisper World encounter. So we need to pick that one back up. So now, yeah, Tyler's picking up the Thief
A little bit off the beaten path there, going all the way left, exiting Quarry Crest.
Yeah, Cutie is catching up, I would say. She's doing Tressa too. Yeah, now it's time to recruit the final character, who's Primrose.
I lost 2 minutes in my D-Rust run the other day because I screwed up that chapter 1 skip on Primrose and had to reload my save.
Oh, did you say like, oh, I want to do the chapter 1?
Yeah, I started her chapter 1.
That happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, Prim is picked up last because her boss doesn't get a lot of extra health from being the last one we pick. We still have to use one large soulstone and a medium one to get the job done. So yeah, now the girls are here. The gang is assembled.
The gang's all here.
Yeah. So this is where I believe we can start actually working on chapter 2s with the intent to complete them. So yeah, and the order in which we do this at first is we alternate between Offie and Primroses. Offie because she, I would say, is the one that requires the least resources to take out the bosses in. And there's nothing valuable from her final boss, so we just get it out of the way first. I mean, okay, there's one thing valuable, which is job points, which we do need to learn many passives that are going to be useful, including Snatch. So the big one that you want for Primrose final boss is Snatch, because Simeon has a lot of money that you can collect from, and also has big soulstones that you can steal. So by having Snatch, you can double that. So that's what we are starting with.
Versus, yeah, Ophi 4, you get the JP, but also you cannot collect Matthias. So you might as well just get it over with, before you have Snatch. Oh no. Yeah.
Oh.
So many deaths. Bad luck.
Yeah. Everhold can be pretty rough.
Now we get to the theme of Ophi's chapters 2 and 3 are butting into the lives of children.
Actually, yeah, story-wise, you do have to guide some children and rescue some children.
I would always forget and just run right past the kids and be like, oh wait, gotta bring them along.
Yeah, happens. Yeah, also, that's another reason why we start with Hanit, is because in these games, when you complete the story of your starting character, you do get these 8-minute long cutscenes, and obviously you do not want that cutscene in the middle of the run. So that means that we also do Hanit for last, because again, the final boss of Hanit story doesn't have anything useful to steal that we can use in other fights or anything like that. We do collect, but we have to collect to use in the same fight. But yeah, that's why we start with Hanit, along with all the other reasons, like it's somewhat easier for her to get to the Scholar Shrine.
And her chapter 1
in chat. I did start with Hanit, but I did switch Tressa to the front because we do a lot more purchasing in the run than we do provoking. So just
Oh, yeah,
saves
yeah.
a little bit of time in path action wise.
Yeah, that's a preference and optimization you guys can do as runners. If you realize that you're going to use a path action way more, just swap them to first. I tried it once though, and I was just too used to doing it second. I kept doing the wrong thing. All right, QD has the golden axe as well.
Nice. We love the golden axe. First try. So while Tyler is heading to OT2 boss, and along the way he's gonna be blasting some encounters with big soulstones, and this is to get job points. So to get basically our, I would say, main setup for 90% of the fights.
Ambush. Brutal.
This one can be rough.
It should be fine.
That was close, but yeah.
Yeah, don't get the first turn kill bonus, but that's all right. The run survives. Keep going onward.
Yeah, it's pretty important that everyone gets the job points here. So obviously, if a character is dead, they do not get the rewards in terms of experience at job points. So you do want everyone alive. So we're gonna be watching the setup, as I said, which is gonna be like at least 3 characters are gonna stay the same 90% of the run. And well, Primrose is gonna be our secondary merchant, and that's pretty set in stone. Same with Ophelia as the thief, and Tressa is gonna be a scholar for most fights, but at least on the early Tressa route, Tressa also flexes as a warrior in a few fights, which is pretty interesting. And Hanit flexes between apothecary and warrior.
Doggy. With the most challenging to say properly name in the game, probably. Broad
Yeah.
here.
I'm not even gonna try.
Even without the accents and stuff over the top of it, it's a tough one.
Yeah. So it is good that many bosses are weak to ice that we're gonna be doing now. So Tressa's Blizzard hits that weakness twice, so it is pretty convenient.
And the fights won't be too bad for a while because you have 4 characters. These are just chapter 2 bosses. We're overpowered with our weapons and stuff, so there's not going to be any tough fights for a while, as far as I'm recollecting. Right? It's pretty straightforward until some of the chapter 4 bosses.
Yeah, all the bosses are fine until Matthias and Simeon, and then all the bosses after that are generally fine. Though that's the real big pain point in the run.
Oh yeah, for sure. Simeon is truly a final boss fight, especially in this category. We will talk more about it when we get there.
By far the hardest fight in the run.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we do get the opportunity to collect from a dog. This game was pioneering that before we had to collect from Garnet in Octopath 2. Yeah, QT is also now picking up Primrose, so this is Oh, she got the encounter.
I mean,
on
it's
the very-
fine. That's not a big deal.
Yeah,
It's just an
it is a-
annoying little encounter.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's like these things that make this run challenging. Like it's not you're gonna die, it doesn't kill the run. It just kills your time by like a minute, whether you get the encounter, whether you flee with 4 characters. Ugh,
Oh,
quite the grind.
yeah. Certainly, there's a lot of time that you always bleed on these tiny things, like the one extra encounter that you failed to run away, the one extra encounter that you almost never get, but you got in that one run.
Hey, it's all just time save for future runs. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, now Tyler is starting OFI Chapter 3, but it's not going to be completed right now. We're just, as usual, doing a part of it. And then we are going to move on to do Primrose Chapter 2. And one of the reasons why we do it like this in segments is because sometimes a chapter makes us go to one end of a town, and then we have to go to like the other end. So it is fastest to do the first segment, then fast travel somewhere else, do something else, and then come back, and you get closer to where you need to be.
I think we need in chat if someone can make a poll, who's the best girl. We all have our thoughts
Oh.
here.
Oh, that's a tough one.
We got Prim, we got Ophi, we got Tressa, we got Honnet. What's your preference? What do you think?
That's a difficult one. I'm gonna go with my girl Hanit.
Honnet's a badass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I think Tressa for me, just because she carries so many runs as a merchant.
Hana is my girl. She was my primary traveler in my first casual play for 3, so I went the wrong way.
I don't think anyone picks Ophelia.
Oh.
It's the other 3. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone. Oh my God, Zazu, always the counter pick.
The wild
Proving me
card.
wrong. But if anyone's looking to get into this game, if you want to start with a single story, Ophelia is, I'd say, the best one to start with. There's a really good documentation on it. I believe Sanjan has a video explaining everything, and her fights are all scripted in the single story. So if anyone's considering running this, I would say Ophelia single story is a good place to start. It's where I started. I think it's where a lot of people start.
Where I
That's
started.
where I. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, see, there we go. Pretty well established. That's how you can learn all the little tricks.
Yeah, it's honestly a pretty good category to get started. For all the reasons you mentioned, there's not a lot of complexity. All the fights are set in stone. So, yep, it's good to get your feet wet and start figuring out how to run this game. And then you can go into the other categories that are going to test you a bit more.
Yeah.
You also get a good introduction to how important RNG is to this run, because there's a ton of RNG right at the end of the run with Matthias. The cultists and Matthias can just decide to kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you get kind of acclimated to how brutal the RNG can be in the run. Right
yeah,
at the end.
There's a few
use
single
characters.
story runs where you get a turn order on the chapter 4 boss and you just can't win, you know. So we've all had runs that are like really good, like a minute ahead of your PB, and then you get to Primrose chapter 4, Tressa chapter 4, and you're like, well, I'm dead. and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's just something you got to get used to with running this game. But fortunately, those runs are short. They're way shorter than this half game category. The longest single story is Ulberich, which the world record's like 51 minutes, but I think like 54 is a really good time. The shortest is Tressa with really good run, it's like 37, 38. And the rest are all kind of in the middle there.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that about the some final bosses just deciding to end your run. Yeah, this chapter also, I mean, this run also has quite a few more of those. There's plenty of bosses here that can 1-8 you or 1-16 you, which means that there's a 1 in 8 chance that they're just gonna kill one character and there's not much you can do about it, which can be a bit rough.
Those odds are pretty good though when it comes to Octopath Traveler. I'll take a 1/8 any day in this game.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Tyler has been doing a bit of running some errands. He stopped by, I forgot the Grandport to pick up some resources and buy a bunch of bombs, if I recall correctly. Then he took a little detour to tag Victor's Hollow, which is where Tressa Chapter 3 takes place. And now he stopped by, I forgot the name of this town, but this is where... Still Snow, that's right, thank you. But yeah, this is where Prim 2 takes place, so this is what we are gonna be doing right now.
It is nice with the half game categories, you explore pretty much the whole world. You get snow, you get desert, you get plains and all that different stuff, which you don't always get in the single story runs.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of variety in the places you go. As I mentioned before, since you have to do 16 bosses, and most of them are in very different areas, you get to explore a lot of the world, which is pretty neat too. Alright, so Cutie is now facing Doggo, whose name I will not pronounce. But yeah, most boss fights are gonna go, you break them, you apply armor corrosive, then if you get the opportunity, you collect and wrap it up with some veterans. I love Tressa's voice clips where she says, "Thank you." So cute. Tyler's now doing, well, it's gonna do pretty soon. Rufus, I believe, is this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's another. Most chapter 2 bosses are gonna be pretty formulaic. They're gonna be pretty simple. As I just mentioned, you break them, you debuff them, and you pay to win.
A lot of these fights, you, especially in single story too, but as the fights get tougher and later in the game, you really also not only use hired help veterans to do a bunch of damage, but you hope for a merchant to be early, so you can use hired help mercenaries, which they come out, they do a little attack. You don't really care so much about the attack, but it boosts your physical defense, which allows your low-level characters to survive those hits.
Yeah, that's also a pretty important one. It's something you can use in certain fights. Basically, you plenty of fights here are also routed depending on, you can flex roles between basically both of your merchants. So if either Primrose or Tressa go first, maybe they are the ones that are going to, as you say, use higher health merchants higher health mercenaries to boost defense. So fights might not always play the same in that way. That maybe at the end, I don't know, maybe Tresa's gonna be the one collecting instead of Primrose or stuff like that. So there's a lot of flexibility sometimes in the runs depending on the turn order you get as well, which also makes fights pretty interesting. They are not scripted down to like every single character has to do every single action every single time. There's a lot of variance on the fights, which I think it's also pretty good. Makes this round pretty fun, in my opinion. So yeah, now we are gonna continue OFI Chapter 3. Basically, Tyler's gonna continue that. Remember, we were doing a bit of that earlier. Now we are going to, since we can fast travel back to Goldshore, we're dropped pretty close to the cave where this story takes place. This cave in particular is pretty long, but fortunately we can still avoid most random encounters here because there's a save point like right in the middle. So that's something we can do in this game. Basically, we can reach a save point and we can exit and reload the game, and that's also going to reset the random encounters. Yeah, there's this one's funny because there is still a very small chance that you do get an encounter, so hopefully that's not gonna happen here. And if it happens, you can blame me for bringing it up. There we go. Something else that's nice about doing OFI first is that this boss fight in particular, since it's two enemies, they got less health, so we can take them out only using one round of bets, which saves money, because bets can be pretty expensive. So any opportunity we have to save money is good, especially this early, where we still don't have that much money to play around with. But yeah, obviously the difficulty in this fight is that there's two of them, so you need to armor corrosive twice, and they also have very different sets of weaknesses, so you need to break them separately. But other than that, it's pretty not very complicated fight, I would say. And just so you see how different routes can be, Cutie just now is raiding the Forest of Purgation, something that Tyler did like almost an hour ago.
What?
Oh, I think you forgot. I think you forgot to put armor corrosive on that.
Oh, I didn't armor corrosive. This is fine. I've got extra stones for just this purpose.
I believe.
I guess this. Not great.
Yeah, I don't know. Using this many soul stones.
Yeah, I don't like it. Believe me, I'm not happy about it. Oh, I don't have. Oh, she's a warrior. Dang it. There we go. Yikes.
Right, we take those.
We take them.
Yeah. So that's gonna be something to consider now. You have to burn 3 small soul stones, so definitely
Yeah.
gonna have to keep an eye on if you get endless item procs, or if you don't, maybe
I
have
already
to pick
got
up some extra backups.
one. Yeah, I already got one on a medium stone earlier, which is nice.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely nice. Yeah, I mean, this run is still, the route still has plenty of backups in case you do need extra soul stones. Some of them are not the most nice to get. Some of them make you go kind of to other areas to pick them up, but they are still there, so there's always a chance to complete the run. So yep, now Cutie is on her way to Prim Chapter 2. Tyler is starting Prim Chapter 3. Yeah, this is where boss fights start. Well, they obviously get beefier, they have more health, and they also hit harder. So
Yeah,
if I
things
recall
start to
correctly,
escalate quickly at this point.
yeah, for sure. And it's funny because in some boss fights, you do get the like the bosses have the decency to not attack on the first turn, so you can usually just break them really quickly. But other bosses just are not as nice; they will attack you on the first turn. Albus, who is the boss of Prim Chapter 3, is one of those, and he hits really hard. So pretty sure this is where we do put our apothecary subclass to the use.
Yeah.
Basically, we
Yeah.
teach a bunch of
The-
people. Yeah,
I'm gonna do the menu in the middle up here and get everybody hail hardy.
yeah,
And
precisely.
something that might seem out of character, Ophelia is going to be covering. Not what you expect from a cleric generally, but you
Oh
know,
yeah,
when in need.
The brief.
yeah,
Forgot where I was going for a second. So I'm gonna reset.
yeah. We reset. It's good to be played safe. But yeah,
There's
the
also
cover strats are pretty good too. You do teach a cover to a couple of characters in here. I believe Hanit and Ophelia. And yeah, as you were saying, they can really save you sometimes, because something that bosses like to do is since they get 2 actions, they can double tap the same character, and usually they could end up dead. But if you have a character with cover and the first hit of the enemy puts one of your party members into critical, then the second one can be covered. So that gives you like a higher chance not to get double tapped on the very first turn, which is pretty cool.
and this is really getting into the nitty gritty here, but that is a real big routing consideration, especially in the single stories, is you want the attacks to hit you for enough damage to put you in critical where you will get covered, not be too weak where you won't get covered, or be too strong where it kills you. And, people have kind of routed around that, but if you're doing runs, this is why, for example, you wouldn't want to kill 2 Kates, because if you get over leveled, then your character will get hit and not be in that critical state and will not get covered. And it's actually bad to over level when you're doing this run a lot of times, or some of the runs, because then you don't get in that cover range.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Something I learned the hard way when I was like, oh, here's a second Kate, let me kill it. Oh wait, why did I die in that fight?
Yeah, for sure. That's also this route in particular has a lot of those instances as well, where you should be roughly the same level across the entire run. I mean, a set level that is previously known. So basically, obviously, the cover strats should work in those situations. And yeah, having 2 characters with cover means that if your first character with cover is being double tapped, then the second one can jump in and come to the rescue.
Cycle trap, one of my favorite skills in this game. Great for turn manipulation because it makes them go last on the next 2 turns, which gets used in quite a few runs to its maximum potential.
Yeah. Turn manipulation in this game is pretty strong overall, I would say. In this run is used a lot as well.
Yeah,
Sometimes you get
weirdly,
an
it's not as
unfavorable-
strong as in Octo 2 though, where you get step ahead for all 4 characters, and then you have spring boots. It's like pretty nutty.
that's-
But in this game, leg hold trap is really where it's at.
Yeah, for sure. Because
'Cause,
that
yeah, then-
can just give you time to break enemies before they can retaliate, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, without leg hold trap, some of these runs would be, I don't want to say unbeatable, but very, very frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, now Cutie is actually taking a detour I mentioned before, the Maw of the Ice Dragon. In the new routes, you skip this, because since you pick up Thresha early, that's how you get that money. And it's not a terrible detour, but obviously being able to skip it, it's pretty nice. So she's gonna do OF3. And Tyler is on his way to Whisper Mill to do OF4. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna see the first chapter 4 get wrapped up here.
Mhm.
Oh, does that mean we're gonna see the Drake encounter? No, because we already tagged it. Never mind. Or did we tag it already? No, here it comes.
Yeah, no, we do see him for sure.
Yeah, we learned Aerostorm basically for this reason and this reason only. Oh, come on.
So this fight is always these 2 Drakes first, and if you get caught by surprise, it sucks.
Ouch.
Oh my god, and their first turn too.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just lower defense 4 times. Oh! Survives! So now
Helen
it's just
Hurty,
Yeah.
come to the rescue.
Yeah.
Hale and Hardy, basically.
So now it's just
Yeah.
Aerostorm, which will break them, and then you can flee. This is real fun when you go there early on some routes and they just do kill you with the one shot. But in these half game categories, you have hope.
Yeah. At this point, we are beefy enough where we can survive for a bit longer. Some ambushes and stuff like that, and back attacks. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, this boss fight coming up is the first one where we are gonna have to use a lot of money. I believe we do 4 rounds of bets, so that gets pretty expensive. So which is why we're gonna have to sell a bunch of stuff.
So yeah, we sell, excuse me, we sell all of the big valuables that we've been collecting throughout the run there, and then buy a backup healing grape, and a bunch of herbs of clamor, which cure silence, which we're going to use on Simeon here in a little bit.
Yeah, precisely. Simeon likes to silence the team, so we do need those to cure the silence, obviously. It's a pretty difficult fight, but it's really fun. Honestly, I think the Simeon fight is... I say it's the hardest one, but it's also my favorite. And it is so satisfying when you get it right. Which not always happens, but sometimes it does.
This screen, the movement's got to be pretty precise, or you'll get an encounter there. Or is it the next one? No, it was that one, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Actually, both of them. Yeah, if you take a few extra steps here, you're definitely in trouble. And it's so dark. When I was learning this, it was hard to figure out
Oh yeah,
the
for
right way to
sure.
run.
I would always take the wrong way here.
I didn't even know that top route on the first screen existed until I watched somebody, I think it was Alta, do a Galdera run.
So yeah, now Tyler is doing a save and reload because there's a money item, a money chest that we need to pick up here that we actually need for this boss fight. Yep. First we get the cultists, and hopefully they are gonna play nice and they will not throw too many soul stones at us.
Nice, Roque.
Attack. Yeah, we should be fine. Nice. Yeah, because these cultists can either do a physical attack or they can throw a soul stone that does a lot of damage. A couple of them and someone's gonna die.
Yeah, I think in the runs, it's generally if they use one soul stone, it can be fine. But if 2 out of 3 of them use it, you're usually dead.
Yeah, usually someone dies with 2 and plus a physical attack. Whoever gets the physical is most likely gonna be the one.
Huge EI proc with medium stone.
Endless item.
Nice.
Honestly, like massive.
Yeah, that's pretty big. So this Matthias fight should be pretty quick as long as no one gets the odds of this one. 1 in 8 or 1 in...
Yeah, I think it's 1 in 8 that you get double tapped.
Oh, we're okay though. You wanted to do
Yeah.
Consuming Darkness first?
Yeah, we're good then. Yep.
Primrose. So basically we have to do 2 rounds of 4 bets and 2 rounds of 3 bets, which fits just fine. Oh, and in the meantime we do activation bet behind. That's just
It is nice when you can do like amputation or like Ulbrich's like boss strike or whatever, because then you don't have to use a stone because they can just swing for a lot of damage. Or steal SP on there. Not that it's in this right now, but steal SP on there.
yeah, for sure. Nice. Good job.
I'm gonna dip
Yeah.
in for a little bit during Primrose 4 so I can focus.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely. That fight requires a lot of focus. We will talk about it very soon, but yeah. Something else I wanted to say is that what you were talking about, when we can get some alternate damage sources other than higher health, it's pretty nice. I know that in particular in the early Tresa route, there's a couple of fights where you really use that up, and it's pretty nice. I think in one of Tresa boss fights, you actually can do that, can hit twice with amputations, and that saves 1 round of bets. So that's a lot of money saved,
which is
which is
huge.
pretty good. Yeah, it's huge. Every time you can do that to save having to use bets or soul stones, which are pretty valuable as well, it's really good. So yeah, here we go. We are gonna start the final chapter of Primrose's story. It's a pretty neat one. It's funny, something we do here. In the very first screen, we take a different path to get a couple items, and then we warp outside again, and we do that to sell a bunch of stuff, and well, also to re-enter the dungeon and take the other path that lets us move forward.
It's Simeon 1. The first stage here is going to be the worst fight in the run, pretty much. But if the runners get, or when the runners get past that, it's a relatively smooth sailing for the rest of the run. But Simeon 1 hits real hard.
Yeah. And the problem with Simeon 1 is that if you get bad turn orders, there is a chance that you can just die and there's not much you can do about it. So that feels pretty bad. But fortunately, it is on the first turn, so if that happens, retrying doesn't take that long. But yeah, it still feels pretty bad when you get armor. No, what's the name of the skill? Well, the one that hits everyone, the cleave and single target.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it.
But yeah, so this is one of the fights where hopefully one of the merchants is gonna get to go first, and hopefully it's not gonna be Primrose. No, wait. No. So what you want to happen is you want Primrose to go first on the second turn, because she needs to break the enemies then. But you want Primrose to also go first on the first turn, so she can use higher health mercenaries to boost your defense, and that's gonna let you survive.
Yeah, otherwise the puppets plus Simeon just beat you down, like with an attack and then a sweep from Simeon. That's it. So you really need those mercenaries.
Yeah,
beforehand.
for sure. Yeah, this is also where when doing the other big menu, we are teaching most of our characters a bunch of thief skills so they can get snatch. We do this because obviously we have two merchants, so we want to be able to flex which one is the one that's gonna do the collect. So we give both of them snatch. We also give snatch to Ophelia, who is the thief, so she can steal double items. And while we are here, we also give I forgot which other skill we teach here. Oh, Flatfoot is an important one. Flatfoot gives our characters plus 50 speed, and these sources say, I don't know, but sources say
Allegedly.
that can influence the turn order. So by giving Flatfoot to our merchants, it should be more likely for them to go first. But yeah, there's still a bunch of randomness there.
Yeah, it doesn't guarantee you go first by any means, because it's a chapter 4 boss and you're still such a low level. But it does help quite a bit in the turn order.
Yeah.
Allegedly, people say.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. Also, I believe that early Tressa route also does something interesting here, where they teach Primrose a couple dancer skills, so she gets the show goes on. And this is used in a couple of fights where you want Primrose to buff Hanit with Lion Dance, so that the buff lasts one turn longer. I don't think it's used in this fight, but I know it's used in at least one of Tressa boss fights, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't think the other route really did that, from my recollection, which is an interesting change.
Yeah, it's one of those little things that allows you to basically unleash two amputations, which in turn lets you save 1 round of bets. So it's pretty nice, right? And we are getting almost there to... Oh, no save. Oh, all right. So this is Simeon.
YOLO.
Simeon is a two-phase fight. So the first phase, Simeon has 2 puppets that can hit pretty hard. The female puppet can also buff the other puppets, and Simeon as well. So he did not get a favorable
bad,
turn.
though.
Oh no, he did.
No,
he
yeah,
did
we
get a
got
good turn order.
Prim here. Yeah.
Yep. So that defense boost is huge because that guarantees.
I mean,
that
we're still
we're
not
gonna
free
die.
yet. We're still not home free, but
We should be able to survive. Yeah. Yeah, Simeon on the first turn will always do just sits back. So as long as we can guarantee breaking everyone on the second turn, we should be good here. Which I believe, yeah, because Primrose breaks the puppets, and yep, and I believe Tressa now is gonna break Simeon. Yep. So also something neat about this fight is that we actually do not want to kill Simeon right away. On this next turn, we're going to unleash a bunch of damage, but we want Simeon to be alive with just a sliver of HP, and that is because we do want to steal and collect from him. And since we got Snatch, we are gonna collect double the money, and we are going to steal double the soul stones, and they are large soul stones, so they are pretty good.
that's big damage in that amputation.
Yeah, and we did not get the poison. You can get trolled in this fight because the death cleaver that you have can poison enemies. And if you poison Simeon, he dies to the tick of poison, like immediately, and you do not get to collect or steal, and that's pretty bad. It happened to me a couple times, and it was a bad feel. But yeah, we get the collect, and now Hanit can finish Simeon 1 off. Pretty good, pretty good. Simeon 2 is a fight that the start can be really chaotic. A lot can happen, and you need to be able to adapt on the fly to different turn orders. Because sometimes you want Ophi to break with SP steal, but if you get unlucky, she can get silence, and then, oh, what can I do? You do have a few turns to flex, but you need to really be on your toes to make sure that you can get out of any tricky situation.
And here's why we got the Herbs of Clamor.
Yeah. So yeah, Primrose should defend because Primrose is gonna break on turn 2, and Ophi should... Yeah, you wanna break Simeon on turn 2 before he gets an action. That's what is gonna happen right now, and now you get a few free turns, well, quotation mark free turns to set up, cleanse the poison, obviously buff your big damage dealers, and then you can go ham and deal a bunch of damage. So yeah, Simeon also, when Simeon break ends, he's gonna use an ability called Master of Silence, I believe, that's gonna silence everyone. So that's why we need the herbs. We do not need to cleanse everyone. I believe Ophi can be silenced because all that you need Ophi to do from this point on is just attack normally. But you do want to rehabilitate Primrose, yes. So on this next turn, we are going to cleanse Tressa and Ophi. Primrose, since she's got rehabilitate, is going to be immune to the silence. And yep, this fight's looking pretty good. Let's see if Tyler can wrap it up.
Yeah, QT going at the cultists now on the other screen. Hopefully not getting blasted by this. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
she's
so
having
rough.
the worst luck today.
oh yeah, that's
Oh my
extremely rough.
gosh. Can't catch a break.
私の番よろしくね出番頼んだ
It seems she recovered nicely though.
Yeah, she did a good recovery there. Yeah, she did good.
Yeah, for
大
sure.
切断
Well done.
行く覚悟はいい
Yeah. Oh,
On it smashing for 9999. Love to see it.
yeah, yeah. So that's Lion's Dance on Hanit.
受けなさい
And the endless items proc. Very nice. No big hit.
Okay.
There we go.
商人だからって
Hell yeah. Very nice fight. Well done. Well
Oh,
done.
man. Yeah, a really big EI proc there at the end too.
Yeah, I saw.
That was
Really
I
good.
would usually use a Thunder L there and didn't have one.
Good, no double tap for QT against Matthias. If he would have used that move on Ophi, that would have been tragic.
Hmm. Yeah.
But fortunately, not.
Yeah, QT is doing well on this fight. Not that far behind. And I don't know. I believe in this category, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're going all the way back to finally do the chapter 2 for Tressa that was started about an hour ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I completely forgot about this one. And Matthias is down. Nice job. Very well done. That recovery on the cultist was really clutch. Really well played.
Yeah, it definitely was. Because you need
Yeah,
to
at
have
that
all the
point-
characters alive when you finish the fight, so that way they all get the experience, right?
Yeah.
You can't
yeah.
just kill them with some people dead in your party, because then all your levels and JP and stuff will be messed up.
Yeah. And doing Matthias with one character dead is not nice.
Also true.
Yeah. So yeah, on the Tyler side of things, we are
さーて
approaching what could be considered the second half of the run, where we have to clean up the rest of the stories, which is Tressa's and Hanit's. So on this route, I know that we rushed Tressa's first. So basically, we're going to be doing all of her bosses in quick succession. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but
No, yeah. It's
that's right.
just going through, blasting through them pretty quickly now.
yeah. One of the reasons why you do that is because you want to do Esmeralda soon, because on Tressa 4, on that dungeon, you can get a lot of soul stones. So if you're short, you can pick up backups if you need there. And also, you can steal from Esmeralda a couple of rune knives. We're not going to be using them, but they sell for a decent amount of money. So if we can steal a couple,
そのまま
that should be more than enough to clear most of the rest of the game. And at that point, we can just blast through Hanit. And yeah, doing Hanit last is done because you need a lot of soul stones for her provokes that you need to do in her story. So obviously, by pushing that until the end, you can have a pretty clear picture of how many soul stones you still need. If you still need to pick up backups, you can take the detours at that moment. So that's kind of why. As I said, it can be a pretty dynamic run depending on how many endless items procs you get, and kind of adapting on the fly. It's one of the things that make this run pretty fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's one thing that's great about this run or Octopath in general is there's a good amount that's scripted and straightforward, but there is also surely room for skill expression and knowing like the backups and how to adjust your turn order and things like that. And I think it's a really nice balance between the two, at least for me personally.
Dealing with that flexibility is difficult. I actually run, I have a little counter on my screen where I keep track of, or try to keep track of at least, how many stones and palms I have of every element and every size, because I constantly found myself losing count and not having as many as I expected to.
That's the responsible way to do it. Or you can do it my way, which is just winging it, and if you run out, the run's over.
Yeah. That's also
Don't
a good way to
recommend,
do it. Yeah, definitely keeping track of that is certainly a skill, and it's nice to have. If you can, or you can be smart and keep track somewhere else. But obviously, being able to like do it on the fly and figure out, oh, I am short X stones, I might pick up Y backup. It's pretty cool, but there's multiple ways to approach it. And as I said, I think it's one of the fun parts about this run, and well, running Octopath in particular.
Yeah. You saw me pause for a second on my item menu during Prim 4, and I was double checking my counter to make sure I had everything accurate. All right, don't forget
I've
this
done that.
menu.
Yeah. I believe my PD does that too. At some points, I pause and just double check to make sure I have what I think I have.
It's definitely worth the 10 to 20 seconds versus not finishing the run when you're an hour and a half in.
Yeah, for sure.
Coming up on my least favorite dungeon navigation in the entire run.
Oh, it's
Forgotten Grotto. I hate this screen so much.
Oh yeah. It's so easy to get lost here, and you don't even realize it until it's too late.
Hand encounter chance too. It's just, this is a gross screen.
Oh yeah. I swear I get the second encounter like every other run.
I only get it on the runs that are green, and I skip it on the red ones.
Yeah, that's a
The
classic.
game knows, the game knows what your pace is.
The game has the clock, it keeps track.
Yeah. The game probably knows. Yo, it's been 1 hour and you have cleared 2 stories. You're going too fast. I'm gonna have to slow you down a little bit.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get it.
Exactly. That's the strategy. Don't be green until the last split, and then just go end.
No, sick. Okay.
But we saw the dog earlier. Now we get to see the kitty.
Kitty.
The poisonous kitty.
Yeah, the venom tooth tiger.
Yeah, in this fight, as you can see, we turn Teresa into a warrior. That's because we want to take advantage of someone that can use 1,000 spears to break the boss. In some routes, Hanit was fulfilling this role, but here we want Hanit to stay as an apothecary so she can do amputations. So Teresa can flex now to be the warrior.
My last 2 runs, Hanit just went off and broke him with Rain of Arrows on the first screen, and it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
What am I doing?
Which sometimes you don't want. So
You definitely don't want it.
For 1,000 spears and Rain of Arrows, because this will be used in runs later today too, is that it attacks 8 times and it's guaranteed to hit at least 3 times. But then the other times it can miss or it can hit all of them. So sometimes, you need it to hit 4 times and you get unlucky. It's even with a Kate, you need it to hit 4 times and it might miss all the 5 optional ones. That's a frustration. Or it can be the opposite, like Tyler just said, where it can hit every time and break a turn early and totally mess up your ordering for the fight. So you always kind of want that sweet spot of like 4 to 5 hits from Rain of Arrows and Thousand Spears.
Yeah.
What? Uh-oh.
Oh. I think you...
Did
Did
you
you
miscalculate?
put... Yeah, did you put the show goes on prim?
Maybe? Oh, you know
Was
what?
that-
I might have missed that. Okay. That's probably what happened. All right. You know what? We're just gonna throw and
Yeah.
do the fight.
Yeah, right. This is the fight where
That
you
might be what
really want
happened.
that
Yeah.
because you buff Hanit on turn 1 and you want it to last the whole 3 turns. So you need the extra turn from the show goes on.
When did I
Right?
miss that?
In the meantime, Cutie is doing Simeon, phase 1.
In the prim menu. Okay.
It's looking maybe good. Yeah. Oh, I think she mistargeted there. Maybe. Oh, no. Yeah, unfortunately, QT or Simeon won on that one, but it was only phase 1, so it should be a quick retry.
Yeah, we got to see the RNG friendly version from Tyler, and QT's luck has not been good today, so we're gonna get to see all the variations of the bad Simeon fight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully not, but I'm not optimistic given how the game's been treating her today.
Right, so this Venom Tooth is looking good now. Hanit's got 2 turns of Lion Dance, and that's all she needs. Right, QT on her second attempt, I believe.
Mercs,
And
good
turn
start.
order, yeah, turn order
Still
is
needs a
looking
little
good.
luck though. Yeah.
Yep, left hold, Simeon, good hold. Alright, let's see.
Armor Crush, we like to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she should be in the clear for Simeon 1.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because Prim will break here.
Yep.
Not too bad. And Tiger's cleaned up too. Perfect.
Yep, there we go. Pretty good. Right, so QT is paying money to win against Simeon 1.
Pay to win games.
Yeah. Nice. Shidar got the endless items proc, amputation, no poison. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, the poison can ruin you there if it procs.
Yeah, because it'll kill Simeon before you can collect.
Yeah.
tragic.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when it happens. It's because the sad part is you do everything right, but you get quotation marks lucky by proccing the poison, and it's over. And it's even worse on the early Tressa fight, because that route you don't have enough money to do. You need the collect money to complete Tressa 2. I mean, Simeon 2.
I thought about getting the Maw of the Ice Dragon money just as a backup, but ended up not doing it.
I mean, yeah, it is an option. You can do it for sure. But it takes so long. One of the things I like about the early Tressa route is that you can skip that, because it takes really long. Right, so QT is on Simeon 2. Let's see. Hopefully no one gets the double tap. Oh, this could be tricky.
Yeah, and a big menu here for Tyler. A lot of changing jobs, learning extra skills. So this is where we're going to get double cover on Tressa and Honnet. And then, of course, we'll have Hale and Hardy, but then Hang Tough on Ophi and Prim. So that way, if they get one-shotted, they survive at 1 health. Very, very useful skill.
Yeah, Hang Tough is extremely useful. Esmeralda hits really hard. Even when we have a lot of health, she can just rip through that in 1 hit. So Hang Tough allows us to survive with 1 HP, which is pretty good. And honestly, it's one of the reasons why we can do this run at this level. Otherwise, it would be extremely difficult to survive Esmeralda's first run of attacks.
Yeah, you'd have to work in some weird sidestep tech or something, which sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, for sure. Right, so on QT screen, the Simon fight is looking good. I don't remember much. I know this strat is different. I don't quite remember how it is, but I believe it's looking good. Simeon is broken. And we get
endless item proc on the light L. That's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So again, when the next turn, Simeon is gonna attempt to silence everyone, but Tressa is protected thanks to the rehabilitate. So QT is gonna have to clean the silence on a couple of characters. I guess Hanit and Primrose. And Ophi again can break just by whacking her sword around. But yeah, I think it's looking good. And on the other screen, Tyler is about to face Esmeralda.
Long screen.
Yeah.
But we're good.
Yeah, something funny about Esmeralda is that when she recovers from her break, she uses an attack called 5 Strikes, which hits 5 times, and it hits really hard. it would normally be it would normally be a pretty devastating attack. So the way we deal with that is we have a warrior and we use Insight. And for some funny reason, when you are incited and Esmeralda does this counter, she's gonna attack the same person 5 times, even if the first attack just kill her. So by doing that, we can basically ensure that only 1 character dies.
We sacrifice Tressa
Yeah.
for the good,
Yeah.
good of the speed run.
Yeah, for the greater good. Because otherwise, the attack is just so chaotic. Well, it is really funny because Tressa drops down on the first hit, and then the 4 other hits are just hitting the air above her. So yeah, do not underestimate her 5 strikes. Oh, and QT beat Simeon. Nice job. So I believe in the route that QT is doing, she's gonna be alternating between doing Hanit and Tressa chapters. I believe she does Hanit and Tressa 2, then Hanit and Tressa 3, something like that. So she's not gonna rush through Tressa's story to get the early rune knives that you steal from her. But so far I've seen both runners have gotten pretty decent luck with endless item proc, so I believe that they should be well enough. They should have enough to complete the run.
Ooh, nice, another proc for QT.
Yeah, another run. It
Love to see
feels
that.
so nice. Yeah, it feels so nice when you get these EI procs on the provokes.
I mean, I hate when I get it on just like a Palm S. I'm like, man. But
Yeah,
on the L stones, it's huge.
yeah. Favorite getting the EI proc on the Air of Clamor.
Just trolling
That's
you
all-
at that point.
Yeah, that's always a fun one. That's my favorite. So Tyler, I missed if he already stole and or collect from Esmeralda. But fight's looking good.
We even got the EI proc on the Wind Large. Very good.
Ah, you're set. There we go. Very nice fight.
Now Tressa wins the merchant competition because the greatest treasure was, in fact, the friends we made along the way.
Yes.
I think that's the moral of all of the Octopath games, with just 8 characters for all of them. Make friends.
Yeah, the power of friendship triumphs again. And don't forget the power of money. So yeah, the routes are diverging quite a bit now. QT is doing Hanit Chapter 2, so she's doing a couple of provokes that are part of her story.
Yeah. Fighting
And yeah, this
Treebeard.
is where, yeah, this scary looking tree. And this is where we are going to be dumping most of the soul stones that we have been collecting and gathering and getting free ones throughout the entire run. Because as
Yeah,
I
this is
mentioned at the
when
start,
the Soulstone routing gets really tight.
yeah, for sure. Because the alternative would be to recruit some strong beasts with Hanit to use on these duels, but we are not doing that.
No, it takes way too much time.
Yeah. It would be pretty inconsistent too. I don't even know any good beasts on this one. I mean, I know of a couple of ones, but they are not feasible to capture at level 20 or whatever level we are now.
No, this is not like the Ochet run we saw earlier in Octo 2,
Yeah. we
where
do
you're
not have
capturing
Teva.
the mythical bosses and using them to go around and stomp stuff.
Yeah. That one is pretty fun. I love using Terra in that run. So yeah, now QT is fighting the first boss. Well, the boss of the chapter 2 of Hanit's story, the Lord of the Forest. So this guy summons 2 ads, but they are inconsequential. We are not really affected by them in any way whatsoever. They are just there, but we are going to just break them before they can do anything.
I've gotten really good EI luck this run.
Nice. Pretty good.
Which is great considering my mess of a OV3 fight. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, on Tyler's side of the spectrum, I believe that Tressa is going back to being a scholar for now, which I think she's gonna stay like that for the rest of the run. And we just got a couple more chapters left. We got Honey 3 and 4 on
Yeah,
Tyler's
just 2
side.
bosses left for Tyler. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for QT, we have Honets, and that's it.
QT, I think, still
no,
needs.
she still needs to do Esmeralda, like
Yeah.
Tressa.
Tressa's. Yeah, I missed if she did Tressa 2 already. I believe she did, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I could be wrong.
I think so.
Yeah, I do get confused between both of these routes. It's funny because when I learned this category a couple years ago, I was doing the same route that QT is doing now. But then there was this discovery of early Tressa, so I decided to write it down and learn that route. So now I got like pieces of both routes in my head because I haven't played this category in a while too. So.
So is
yeah,
early Tressa actually faster, or is it just different?
I would say it is faster, not by a lot.
Okay.
The thing is, I would say it is slightly faster, but it is also slightly more reliant on getting good EI procs. Because you do use a few extra soul stones.
Okay.
Like
Good to
you
know
have
for
use,
anyone considering this.
Yeah, you have to use a few big ones. One extra big one you have to use on, say, the Guardian of E1. I think that's the big one, really. But being able to
just
skip...
get lucky then. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
of
easy.
course. Yeah. But yeah, being able to skip the trek to the mall is really the big one. Like that's a whole
way
minute.
out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole minute, if not longer. I've seen some people like playing with the... I've seen Robin, who I believe has the world record for this now. I saw him stream the other day, and he was doing a sort of a hybrid route where you kind of rush Offie and Tressa like as soon as possible. So you still do Offie second, but you still get Tressa for most of your exploration, and that was really interesting. So I might keep an eye on that, and maybe that could be a nice improvement to the route.
Yeah, Robin has definitely made a couple improvements, even to single story routes. I think made a pretty big innovation for Offie single story that sped it up. Maybe Tressa as well. And so I'm not surprised to hear that about the half game category as well. You know, you think these categories in this game 8 years old now, right? You think like, oh, it's all routed and optimized, but no, like there's still ways to figure out how to make it faster.
Yeah, I believe every game can still be optimized a little bit. There's always something around the corner that maybe no one has seen before, and you could be the first one. And if you do see something, I mean, you could always ask and see, hey, I had this idea, do you think it could work? And sometimes you might be surprised, it might work, maybe no one saw it.
Or if it doesn't work, Zazu will be like, yeah, I tried that, it doesn't work. Zazu's always there trying all the crazy strats.
Yeah, that's true, you have to ask him first. If he doesn't know, then no one knows. It's pretty cool, we got both of chapter 2 now at the same time going. QT is doing Tressas, and Tyler just finished Hanitz.
I'm just gonna get these backup larges.
Oh yeah.
You gotta haggle. Let's go.
Oh yeah. The Tresa discounts that you can get are also pretty nice. They are not like that important in the run, but it is a nice feel when you do get those discounts on a big item like a large soulstone.
And they definitely come into play on. I keep talking about single story routes just because I know those more, but the money's tighter on those too. So on some of those, you really do kind of count on getting a few discounts. Every like 700 leaves really adds up.
Yeah, definitely. I would say the early Tresa route is also kind of pretty tight on money. It works out in the end, but barely. So obviously getting these extra discounts is pretty nice because it frees up from you feeling like you're almost gonna run out of money at every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost a run, a really good run on pace a couple weeks ago because I somehow ran out of money on Simeon, I think. I ended up starting to pick up the large Olive of Life in the Hunter Shrine just as a tiny little money save.
2,000.
I was
Yeah.
I was low by 1,500 leaves or something like that.
It's such an easy one to pick up. Like it's 2 seconds or something, but you know, I skip it plenty of times too. And then if you're a little short, you're like, man, I should have got that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now I
I
think-
want it. No.
Oh,
We're okay.
okay, good. I got scared for a moment there.
This is a tough fight, especially getting confused
Yeah,
and then
can be
just beating
pretty,
yourself to death.
pretty annoying for sure. Yeah, now both runners are doing Hanit Chapter 3. They are both on the provoke with Alike. I believe that's his name. I don't know. I am only a speedrunner. I'm not good with names. But yeah. So again, this is another provoke, and probably this is the biggest provoke in terms of how much health you have to shove off of this guy. He's pretty bulky, so we need a bunch of Shadow Soulstones, which are his weakness. Oh, and this is my favorite screen in the game as well.
Oh
The run
gosh.
through the forest.
Flash
Oh.
S. Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
this one is,
Surprise? Surprise? Any surprises? No.
yeah, this one is, and the bear. You get the Beragas here. Counter is just really rough to deal with as well. I have so many runs here that just
Right.
get this Beraga and it's the end.
Yeah, even with perfect movement, you still have, I think, like a 15 or 20% chance of an encounter, if I remember correctly, on this screen.
Yeah.
It's real frustrating.
Yeah, I feel you get it most. At least I get it almost every time. Let's see. Oh, Cutie didn't get it. Nice. So it is possible to go through this screen without encounters.
You definitely can. It's tight.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never gotten that. I'm pretty sure I've always gotten an encounter there. Maybe my movement is bad. I don't know. People say things.
Yeah, I just say things. I'm just making up numbers.
Same.
That's enough. Too.
Alright, so the dragon is another pretty scripted fight in a way. You do need to react a bit to your turn order and adapt, but other than that, there's not a lot going on. I'm pretty sure that he spends his first turn not attacking, and you know that when it comes to the bosses, that's bad, because that's all the time you need to break them.
いかがかしら行きましょうそのまま崩します
Oh yeah, Cutie got the encounter inside. Just keep the one outside just to get the one inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some.
どう動くさあ行くわよさあいらっしゃいそれでは
An L. Oh. Huge.
これをさあどうする
M.
Need to check for the endless item mod on Tyler's game. Too many procs.
Yeah,
出番
we're gonna have to check for the endless items mod.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come over and examine my Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
行きましょう
Yeah. Or you got the cosmic bite that
受けなさい
came from the sky and it's just making you get 100% EI
行く
procs.
ぞ大切断相手に
Alright, pretty good. So Tyler took the dragon down. QT is fighting the dragon. And it's looking pretty good too. Yeah, for some reason the dragon has a lot of money to collect from. So
Dragons
who
always
am I
have
to
tons of gold.
Famously
Yeah.
hoard gold. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have
These
a
are
point, you have a
leaves.
point.
Well, they hoard leaves too.
Yeah.
Nice, good fight, QT.
Yeah, good fight. So yeah, Tyler only got left the final boss of Hanit's chapter. QT, I believe, still needs Esmeralda as well. So not that far off. She's been making pretty good time considering she had it pretty rough at the
Yeah.
start of the run.
Yeah, there is some really bad RNG, so this is a good time considering that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, coming to the final boss fight, who is Red Eye, it really comes down to making sure that you actually have everything that you need to, and that you did not miscount your EI procs on soulstones and pumps. Because that can be a problem. I've had runs where I was sure I had enough soulstones or enough pumps, and I got to the fight and turns out I didn't, so I could not really complete the fight. So that's pretty big here. And this is also where we sell our final stuff, including the gold axe. So the gold axe has been a pretty good
rip.
friend, but yeah. And this one we do need the money, so. But thank you, gold axe, for your service.
I mean, it put in a lot of work, right? We get it really early and then use it a lot on Haunted for those amputations. So definitely worth and used quite a bit in this run.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty good weapon on this run.
This is almost certainly not necessary, but I'm grabbing this extra fire and large out here.
Yeah, if you're short one of the things you do is you run out this way and grab the chest, which has a fire L.
I should be fine though.
Yeah, it's a nice safety there. It's pretty close, so doesn't take a long time to get. If you're short one, that one can definitely save you. This dungeon is also can be very confusing to navigate. The first few times I did this run, I would take the wrong exit here all the time.
And the screens are not guaranteed safe.
Yeah, that
on
too.
this one.
It's a long load, thanks to the switch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, I hope that his game didn't freeze, but no.
No, it's all
just-
good. It's normal.
It's a natural. It's how the Switch works. I'm so used to playing on PC.
just builds more tension for Red Eye.
Yeah, that's true. I'm at the edge of my seat right now. But yeah, those are some heavily long load times.
Yeah, the reason this is the only Switch run in the game is or in the showcase is because up until like 2 weeks ago, I did not have a computer capable of running this game on PC. So, but I do now. But thank you to QT for volunteering to be in the Switch mines with me, suffering through the long load times. Oh God. Boy.
Yeah, that's very nice that we got this category here and that we got a couple of runners that could do it. And yeah, to Cutie too for volunteering to suffer the Switch. This is probably one of my favorite categories of Octopath 1. So it's very nice to see, very nice to commentate. Alright, so we got Red Eye. Red Eye can be pretty annoying. He can inflict a couple of random ailments that are not very nice, like incapacitation, stun, and I believe blind, like just like that. So we do need to work out around with using rehabilitate, and also, if I recall correctly, Hanit has some accessories to make her immune to the blindness and the stun, which is gonna be pretty convenient. So I believe the way we handle this is we have our merchants use sidestep. This is like the first time we have seen sidestep on the run, and by doing that, the merchants can avoid the wallop attack that Red Eye does after the break, and Hanit has the accessories to avoid getting stunned, and I believe Ophelia gets, I could be wrong, but I believe Ophelia gets rehabilitate on her, so that way your entire team is immune to these status elements, which is how you handle it.
Yeah, Red Eye is a tough boss. Just in general, a lot going on.
Yeah, and his gimmick of switching weaknesses every turn also can be a big problem, especially if something goes wrong and you have to like improvise. That makes it extra difficult, because you need to keep track of that.
Yeah, you have to keep track of what you want to do, and then also just which weaknesses or which turns in case of backups and stuff. So there's a lot of moving pieces to this fight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But that's what makes it fun. You know?
Yeah. So the name of the skill was Bestial Roar. I said something else, but yeah. So basically no one got stunned, which is pretty good. Obviously you do not want to get stunned here. And final collect, very important. You need this money to actually complete this fight.
Yeah, there's no worse feeling than like boosting up your attack, going to merchant, scrolling to hired help, and then scrolling down and seeing vets grayed out because you don't have enough money. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, that's
I
the worst.
discounted.
We should be good though.
Yeah, I believe it's looking good. Now we just unleash the final round of bets, the final soul stones. That should be it. Sadly, we do not have the axe anymore, so we cannot do a final amputation for the fans. I mean, we could, but it would do 10 damage. There we go.
Right,
Very
time
nice.
is on the second cutscene skip.
Yeah.
And time.
So, there we go. GG.
Yeah, GG, Tyler.
Nice run.
Very nice run. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, really good run.
4 women, 4 chapters each, 16 bosses, and we'll get to see them all as it scrolls through the credits and while QT finishes up.
Yeah,
that's a PB.
Oh, congrats.
Oh,
Very nice.
nice.
Even with some
Good job.
standing still. That's wild.
Yeah.
What a good run.
Good job, man. GG.
Yeah, you even stood still for a little bit.
Good idea on splits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a hefty PB, actually.
Yeah, now you know what to do then. You have to do another run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
run it
game
back.
And still
Right
and
back,
get a
yeah.
better PB. Yeah, nicely done.
Thank you. This is a fun category. I would like to learn some of the other half game categories. I think Galdera might be a little bit long for me to sit in a chair. That's what I like about these the half game categories is they are very manageable to do in one sitting.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also a big fan of the half game categories. They are just like, for me, the perfect length. So they have a lot of content in them, so they are pretty interesting, but they are not. Galdera, I don't know, Galdera really intimidates me, at least in this game. Caldera 2 is... I've done a couple of runs of that, and it is very interesting too. But yeah, give it up for the girls. No boys allowed.
No boys allowed.
Yeah. Alright, Cutie is...
Esmeralda,
start
and
her
then
fight
Red
with-
Eye, and then, yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Oh yeah, QT was saying her setup is unfortunately jank and there's no game audio.
Hey, the credit music is good.
Yeah. I see no problem with having credits music here. It's like the grand finale of the run.
Yeah. You were talking earlier about why we do Haunted last and like resources and whatnot. The other reason is the unskippable 8-minute cutscene, credits cutscene sequence. You know that happens after you beat your final starting character's story. So
Yeah. Basically, whoever you start with, you want to do their story last. Obviously, not to have the 8-minute cutscene in the middle of your run.
So it kind of works out that Honnet's bosses are not super resource intensive. So you can kind of do them at the end where you are like have the tightest margins. And also that she happens to be
Closest
pretty
to the Scholar
quick
Shrine.
to against maneuvers in the beginning of the run. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because Hanit provokes are actually very resource intensive though.
Yeah.
The boss,
Oh
not
yeah,
the boss
you
fight
need to
themselves,
those fights.
but yeah. So that's also another reason why you postpone Hanit to the end. Like, technically nothing is stopping you from like doing Hanit 2 or 3 earlier, but you don't have that many soulstones, so it's like, why try now? I could use Linde to the provokes, and that's not a good idea. So that's why we just do it all at the end.
Yeah, no love for Lindy.
Yeah, that's a shame.
She's so slow.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
just
true.
summoning the fox in Haunted's chapter 1 and then nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no, what happened?
I didn't see.
Yeah, I don't remember this. How this fight is in this route. Maybe she forgot to defend with someone or to give BP to Hanit.
Oh, she missed a Vets.
Oh. Oof.
It's so tough to like stick in it mentally when you've had a bunch of challenges. So
Yeah, for sure. That can happen a lot in this game too.
Yeah.
It's
Very
really hard
admirable
to.
run, given like the bad RNG. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
she definitely made it really far, but this game can be really punishing. Like, if you make one, like most of the fights are somewhat scripted, but if you make one mistake, that you can end immediately be put in an unwinnable situation, and that's really rough. But yeah, I believe that even with all of that, she pulled off a great run up until this point.
Yeah,
Despite
absolutely.
all that happened with her at the start, that was extremely rough. I would
Lot
have quit like 20 minutes in.
a lot of perseverance. Very
Yeah,
admirable.
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely. So GG's to both of our runners. That was really
Yeah.
fun.
GG's. Congrats, Tyler, on the PB.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Nice.
sure.
Yeah, thanks for including me. I'm pretty new to the community as well, just like Jacoby. I started this year, so it's been great to meet everybody. Shout outs particularly to Jacobu for providing me with these early Tressa notes. They're very detailed and well organized, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, GG's to QT, and looking forward to the relay and the rest of the showcase.
Yeah, we'll have a short break, and then maybe a highlight of the day is going to be the relay race. All 8 characters, single story relay between 8 different runners, so 16 different runners in total. I think that's going to be really, really fun. So that's going to come up next.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be really fun. Looking forward to just sitting there watching the whole thing. So yeah, well, thank you for having me as commentator. That was really fun. I'm very glad to have this opportunity to talk about this run that I really like. And yep, thanks to everyone involved on this marathon, and to everyone watching. Stick around, because we have a big relay coming up, and it's gonna be really fun. All right, that's it from me. Bye
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
See ya in chat. Bye bye.